There it is. A little something to get us started today. The Fabulous Faces. Gail, this is all part of last song week.
Right, last song, closing credits, best last songs.
Little Wes Anderson?
Little Wes Anderson. This is from Rushmore. It's the last song of Rushmore.
Sweet job, Wes. Sweet job, Rushmore. Sweet job, everybody.
Great job.
Great job, Jason Schwartzman. You're our favorite.
I love you.
He's got so many movies that come out and like they don't get big releases, and then I catch them on TV and they're amazing.
Yeah, he's great. Although it's hard for me. I still always think of him as little Max Fisher in my mind.
That's half his life now. Half his life. He's only 35 now.
That's crazy.
He's only 35 now, and he probably still could go back and play that same part. All right, this is the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington, Stanley. Let me make the phone call, Bennington. We're all here together. We were supposed to have a special guest, but maybe in an hour 15, although I have a guest coming in 2 hours. So that would cut her down to, at this point, 45 minutes and shrinking.
We'll see.
Stanley, what's the big story out there in the world of comedy?
Steve Renazizi, star of The League on FX.
I've never really watched The League.
I only watched the first a couple episodes.
I watched the first season.
And did you love it?
It was a good first season. I did not continue on, but I enjoyed it first season.
Anytime somebody says, hey, do you want to do something with the guys from The League? I'm like, I'm so far behind. I really don't want to watch 5 seasons.
A lot of
I believe this is their last season.
Yes, season 7.
So which League star is this?
This is Steve Renazizi.
And who's he play on the show? Fifth?
He plays Kevin MacArthur.
Okay, now I know him.
Kev.
Kevy Mac.
You know Kev.
He has just admitted that he's been saying for years that he was in the towers on 9/11, but that was all a lie.
Is he saying he was in both towers?
No.
He would only be in one tower, I think.
He was in a tower.
So what makes him now confess?
New York Times.
Okay,
New York
so it's a
Times.
forced confession.
Yeah. Well, I think Big Steve's got a special coming out, Comedy Central, called I Was in the Towers on 9/11.
Right. Is he going to have to cancel
an amusing look back. All right, who else is in the League? We got some big names.
Paul Scheer, right, is in the League.
Little known story about Paul Scheer. He jumped from one tower to the other tower.
Wow. And he's not bragging.
No, he's not. He barely brings it up.
Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll.
Yes.
Little known fact, too much tuna. On 9/11.
Yeah.
He said
that's how it happened.
He was eating a giant tuna sandwich on 9/11.
Mark Duplass, another member of the League.
The Duplass brothers.
Oh, yeah, I love Mark Duplass. I believe that he was in Washington, D.C. in the Pentagon that day.
Wow.
And had just... Now, if you take this kid, so he said, and he's repeated this story multiple times, right?
Yes.
And his story is that he was in the towers and then escaped and...
Yeah, and he
escaped and then saw the second plane hit from the ground. And now he's saying he definitely was in Manhattan. But see, here's the problem if you lived in Manhattan at that time. Everybody has a story. I talk to people in Oklahoma. They've had stories of, oh my God, I was just making breakfast. You know, everybody's a big thing. So I guess if you want to grab attention, you got to up it a little bit. But, you know, I have heard people tell their stories before and never question them. I brought this up in a meeting one day. Some guy said he was walking down the street when the plane hit. The jet fuel came down on top of him. Years later, he had a cancer. I didn't say I'd like to, see a police report.
Let me look into this.
Yeah, you just go, wow, it's awful.
We don't have time to gumshoe every 9/11 story.
This reminds me of I was a Navy SEAL guy, and they tell it for years, and then they get busted by that guy who goes around and busts people who makes up Navy SEAL questions.
Now, I think that maybe making a false story about 9/11, probably of all the false stories, probably not going to be so kindly received by the public.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that I banged Angelina Jolie, but...
and I believe you.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. And obviously, she's not going to say I did. Right. She's with Bradley now. Mm-hmm. I think Bradley. I don't know where his name goes. I'm thinking she's with Bradley Cooper now.
That's what she calls him. That's a pet name, and that's why you know that.
Yeah. Yes. She told me, she goes, don't tell Bradley. And I said, he could come in if he wants to. But, I had a kid in my neighborhood who swore he was taking a shit and lightning came through the window and he ducked. And then I heard him tell it as his mom yelled, David, duck. And I'm like, why was she in there when you were taking a shit then? But people bullshit. It's something people do.
People lie.
Yeah.
I heard a story once when I was in high school about a comment of a friend of mine was on the subway and she had a mohawk and a bunch of our friends were with her, and at least 2 people told me this story, that there was this whole elaborate thing. An old man was staring at her. She was like, what the fuck are you looking at? Yeah. And then he said, I fucked a cockatoo. I thought maybe you were my daughter.
Shit, that's the best story I've ever heard.
And
in my
I
life.
thought it was hilarious. And everyone said, oh man, it was so funny. This guy was hilarious. And she was really pissed. Years later, I heard someone tell this same story from somewhere else.
That's funny. The urban myth story.
And I'm like, someone swore to it. It's one thing if she lied and said, but someone said, I was there and it was said. So they're both in on this lie?
Look, here's the thing. I heard someone tell the story before that they were on an elevator, right? Mm-hmm. And Eddie Murphy, and there was a little, nice couple. Eddie Murphy walks into the elevator and he's got 2 Doberman pinchers, right? The elevator door is closed. And he says, sit. And the 2 people sat on the ground real fast. So I'm like, that's the funniest story I've ever heard. That's a great story. Then later I heard about Mike Tyson, Sam Jackson, and it's just one of those crazy urban myth stories that goes around. But I say this, I don't mind a bullshit story if it's made to make people laugh. Like the cockatoo story is amazing.
Sure, it's hilarious.
Go ahead and lie to me with that. That's a great, funny story. I was a Navy SEAL, or I was in the tower story. Because remember when they were I think they arrested people for trying to get money.
Yeah,
whatever the claims were of saying that they were in the towers and shit. So that one, I don't know how you get back over it. I mean, obviously, and I'm going to be serious for a second, this kid has a mental illness of some kind. To be able to say that story, repeat that story, do that story a lot, build upon that story. They're saying that he brought it up in multiple interviews, many times not even asked.
It's like the chicken salad story.
Yeah, it's the chicken salad.
The lady hates chicken salad.
Wouldn't eat chicken salad.
No mayo.
You got to hear the story, Chris. You're going to love it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, that's mental illness to do that. He needs some kind of proper help.
Yeah, because most people, I think, would probably have a twinge of guilt after doing that. And to have to keep it up, you obviously have something blocking you know what I mean? Like you have no moral compass about why that would be the wrong thing to do.
Well, I guess you just, I mean, if you look at acting, what is that other than believing lies? It's the art of believing lies. Sales, they say you have to believe in your own product, even if it's a piece of shit product.
Right.
Which means you are lying to yourself. It's just a lie that you believe, which, quite frankly, reality is one of those things.
And I think people who can do something like that, I think that there actually is a point where you believe what you've said.
Yeah.
I think that he probably has told the story enough times with enough confidence that he's probably able to disconnect that truth at some point and just say, yeah, this is the story. Yeah, I say it all the time.
Well, people say that he brought it up in different places where no one said, I heard that you were in the towers. Then I hear when Don Geronimo asked him about it, he said, well, I wasn't really in the towers. I was on the ground, which would have meant, for whatever reason, he was walking it back even slowly. But there were probably, 1 million people downtown at the time, or 500,000. So, the fog of that situation gets big. You start to build on it. His special comes out on Saturday on Comedy Central. And I guess the folks at Comedy Central are in a weird position right now. Like, what are they supposed to do?
He's also a spokesman for Buffalo Wild Wings, and they said they've been rethinking their partnership with him.
Really? Because they would have fired somebody in a heartbeat if he said Chinese people look like they're staring at the sun. You know what I mean? He would have been out, and we don't put up with such things. Mike in Oklahoma.
Hey, yeah, this is Mike.
Hey,
I worked with a guy that said he had a cousin get sentenced to the electric chair.
Yeah.
For his last meal, he requested 100 pounds of butter, ate as much of this butter that he could, survived the electric chair, and they had to let him go.
That happened to a friend of mine's uncle, so I know that's a true story. But yeah, people love to, look, you're in a bar, you're telling stories. Don't act like no one's ever bullshit a woman in their life.
Right.
Like when people say, oh, that Navy SEAL thing is, inexcusable. And I'm like, well, I get that, but what if it was going to lead to sex with someone who wouldn't have sex with you? Like, we don't know for a fact if Freak Nasty is real.
No.
I personally think that she was pulled off of a website during a cut and paste.
And he faked a breakup in order to get himself out of it quickly. Yeah. He couldn't live the life.
Before we met her.
Do you guys honestly think Steve Razizi'd that?
See, I don't want that this quickly to become that slang for that. I haven't watched the league. I heard he's on Amy's show as well. Which I guess, if we're going to be as fair as we are with other things, they'll have to blur her face.
Yeah.
Or his face.
Someone's getting blurred.
You can blur every other person but him. Bloodlands. Okay, that goes hour and a half now. Hour and a half.
In his Twitter apology, he says he wishes he could erase a story told by an immature young man. It only made me more ashamed. And he's told a story like 2 years ago. So how much younger could he possibly be?
Yeah, once you become an adult, it's kind of you can't really use that
Abel,
excuse
it
anymore.
actually probably would have been great if this was a story that he explained during his special. But the fact that he got out, like if he went out, started doing a thing about bullshitting and said, you know what, I got caught in one myself, here's what happened, blah, 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 I think people would have went, wow, what an interesting and brave thing to do,
Right.
But now it makes it safer for the dog pile.
Yes.
And a lot of people who get outraged about stuff, because let's face it, you could say this lessens the actual victim's story and be right about this, or this has, downplays the fact of what actual first responders did, and you would be right about it. But you might be able to be understanding of somebody who's told a bullshit story and how to get away from them.
Yeah.
Just literally take on whole new places. I think the only thing to do is settle this with a bet. What does Comedy Central do for Stanley?
They will preempt it.
It's not going to run.
Do you think they're going to pull it?
How much you willing to bet on that?
I'll bet $100 that they pull it.
Or there's a quick 100. And Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever they're called. Are they Buffalo Wild Wings?
Buffalo Wild Wings,
Yeah.
It's just a suspension.
Sounds
A
delicious.
suspension.
He's on IR.
The football season? Because that's the only time people eat wings. No one is going to eat wings while watching basketball. Wings are definitely a football food. All right, I'm going to go to Joey Jojo. Joey, what's going to happen?
I think they're going to pull it from television, but they will release it via the internet at some point.
Interesting.
And your money that you're going to put that on?
I'll put $101 on
Wow.
Makes me look like shit.
You shame that idiot over there.
I'm
Yeah,
smart.
what do you think's going to happen?
I think that they will allow it to air and make some sort of disclaimer or statement beforehand.
Oh, I like that.
And I will bet $102 of Stanley's money.
That's the big price. All right, I'm going to go with this. Buffalo Wild Wings is going to come out with something called 9/11 wings. Melty Wild Wings. And they're going to have him, like the commercials, him running down the steps while he's eating and handing out wings to other people. Comedy Central, wow, I say they just run it and ignore it. Even though to me this is almost a slap in the face to it. You know what I mean? Like, what they really are waiting for, because right now no groups of people I think are outraged. The Times just,
right,
put it out there as whatever it is.
If there's not a campaign, nothing will happen. But if people organize,
yeah. At least they put it, they put it on at 3:00 in the morning for the people who want to stay up for him. Jeremy, OKC.
Yeah, I was calling about the pathological liars thing, about how it's kind of like a disease and it catches on. They start to believe it. I had a friend that I met in middle school who used to always tell us stories, things he had, big houses that he had, other places that he had, his family had, even fights that he had been in. And as years went on, we were really good friends. I would, obviously some things I knew were lies. But then I would mention things like his brother about a fight that he had told me he had been in, and he would be like, that wasn't him, that was me. I told him that story. And when it gets real weird is when you go somewhere and he's telling stories like that, and then he starts including you in his lies and his stories.
Yeah, you're the weirdo to me. You're the weirdo for picking him as a friend. But I forgot. First of all, when it comes to fight stories, only believe a story where someone got beat up. You know what I mean? Like if someone said, I was in a bar, I said something stupid, and this guy just beat the shit out of me. That's a funny, true story we could all laugh at. But when you're like, I had one guy in a headlock, and the other guy was coming at me with a knife, and I kicked him, you're just like, dude, that's Patrick Swayze. It doesn't even happen in real life. No one beats up 7 guys.
Men lie about fighting and sex, both.
Yeah, they actually said they fight during sex. But
I fought 3 guys off while I was banging her. It's pretty cool.
I know a girl in elementary school who said she had a pair of shoes at home that were covered in diamonds.
I like that
one. Diamonds.
I don't wear them here because I don't want to make you guys jealous.
Because my mom says it's bad to make fun of you poor people. So why do you go to this shit school?
The amount of shit that kids lie about, though, is insane. First of all, for some reason, every school has a rumor about a girl who had a hot dog surgically removed from her vagina. Every school has that one girl.
Why surgically?
Or medically, like she had to go to the hospital because it broke off. So no one talks to her because she's really weird. And then you will go and find someone else at a different school who also had a girl who bagged a hot dog that broke off. And sometimes it's a frozen one.
I remember teachers lying, saying that the kid last year who leaned back on his chair is in a wheelchair now. And I'm like, every fucking school, every class I went to, a kid last year broke his neck leaning back in the chair.
My teacher said scoliosis. There was a kid who got scoliosis because of the bad posture. Like, what are you talking about?
That takes years.
Yeah, stop saying scoliosis every day. Want to slouch?
Dustin in Iowa. What's up, Dustin?
Hey, man, I had a female coworker who claimed she had cancer for about 6 or 8 months and shaved her head and wore wigs and like head wraps and stuff. And it was really clear that she didn't have cancer because she clearly was shaving with like clippers. So there was stubble on her head.
You know, there is this story comes out all the time of somebody that's raising money because they say that they have cancer. And then they find out it's not true. And I still say give them the money.
There was that one that was not too long ago. It was like a beauty queen, former, beauty queen pageant chick.
Was it Vanessa Williams?
No, it was not.
Because she never should have lost her crown.
Not over that.
Or her crayon. Neither one. Here's Dan in Philly. Wait, Dan in Philly, how are you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Bennington?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the documentary about the lady who she lied about being in the towers on 9/11?
First of all, there is no documentary like that. You're making that up.
It's a lie.
She was like the head of the 9/11 survivors.
Oh yeah, I remember the story. I never saw the documentary, but I forgot about that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a documentary about it, and she lied about it, and she was I think the newspaper came out and. She's from a different country, and she just like made the whole thing up. She wasn't even in New York like on the day it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really hateable.
Well, it's just like I said, it's got to be mental illness. It's got to be. What else would make you do such a thing?
Unless it's like a lie that you're profiting off. Like, you remember there was a woman who did a fund saying it's so sick, but she said that her son was one of the kids at Sandy Hook, and she was taking donations.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, but isn't that just a scam more than a lie? Isn't that just like
true
old-fashioned scam? Where this guy, I mean, he didn't profit off of it. What's his name again?
Steve Renazizi.
Big Steve. But he did profit off of people paying attention to him.
The sympathy and the...
I'm starting to wonder about Chris Stanley's acting like he's going to be in Ghostbusters.
Really?
Everything is true.
Every time I hear that story, it gets bigger and bigger.
I've noticed that there are no witnesses.
I wasn't even there for it. He told me.
They gave me a photon pack. Go Ghostbusters!
I don't know if that's true.
Proton
that seems
pack.
crazy. Yeah, photon. A foe meeting a fake pack.
I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know, again, how many people do stuff just to get some kind of attention? I mean, that's what it all boils down to. And it was this, what do you call himself? A silly young man?
An immature young man.
So give me the exact quote.
Okay. This is all right. For many years, more than anything, I've wished that with silence I could somehow erase a story told by an immature young man.
All right, let me just stop that. That's way you almost distance yourself. Like, that's not me. That was an immature young man.
Right.
I'm no longer that. I'm a mature, successful leaguer. You know what I mean? But you're already walking back of who told this. It's not you. It's some immature young man that you no longer are.
And I think that's a key to how people are able to continue to lie without feeling guilt. I think that they're able to kind of compartmentalize their personalities. Like, this guy says this, and then I shut that off when I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, when I don't want to deal with it anymore, I just say, that was an immature young man.
That young man from 2 years ago.
Yeah. He was 37. Just a baby. Just a baby. Tim, Virginia.
Hey guys, love the show. There's this thing called stolen valor where we have the active service guys calling out the people dressed up like sailors and Marines and soldiers and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's weird. I've never done it myself because I'm afraid these guys might be a little mentally ill to begin with, and you don't know what's going to set them off. You know?
What do you mean? You never called anybody on it? You mean?
No, because I'm active Army, and I'm usually busy enough correcting our own soldiers around us for being.
That stuff, they've actually gone to people that were in Congress. And what happens a lot of times, there was like 1 million guys sent to Vietnam, but only like 7 or 8% of that, some crazy, there's math to it, that most were in, as they say, in the rear with the gear. But when people hear that they were in Vietnam, they're like, oh, you're a hero, my friend. And then you don't correct them. You're like, oh, the same thing happened with the World War II veterans.
Sure.
Only a small percentage of them were actually in these battles. Most were moving equipment back and forth. But someone starts to call you a hero and buy you a free drink. You let it go. Maybe you add a story or two. Before you know it, you're running for Congress and you're like, back in Vietnam, we used to have the saying, and you're like, before you know it, you're just out there. People are like crying and they're like, yay! Yay!
Joe McCarthy capitalized on that when he was running back in the day before the Red Scare and everything. He called himself Tail Gunner Joe, and
Tail Gunner Joe
out to be false.
Yeah. All that meant is he used to bang other dudes in the ass, and that was a story that turned out to be true. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I mean, if you're with a serviceman and he starts saying that he saw, action in Afghanistan, unless you were a guy who saw action in Afghanistan, you wouldn't start asking him questions.
Yeah.
Where
were you stationed?
That's odd because that's
And a lot of the infantry guys, they're kind of like, well, we don't like talking about that stuff anyways to begin with because it sucks.
Well, even the SEAL guys that have gone around now and said there's a couple conflicting stories about who shot bin Laden, and the other guys that are SEALs are going, hey, we don't talk about this.
Right.
It's not something we say,
it's pretty funny. We kind of joke about that at work. It's like, well, why did the SEALs get Bin Laden? Well, they had the movie rights.
Yeah, right. There's so many movies about it. The movies aren't even the same, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, and that's like, again, you just wonder if Bible stories are just filled with people bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like, I saw Jesus walk off a boat. You know what I mean? Like, then it goes around for a while, and finally someone writes it down. You're like, oh shit, I didn't know it was going to go this far. Damn. You know?
Have you guys seen Book of Mormon?
No, Chris has.
I saw it in previews.
Yeah, it's kind of they kind of like not to give anything away, but like the people in Africa are like, oh, yeah, this is all allegories. We get it, don't you? And it's kind of like the big punchline at the end of the play, which is kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
All right, Tim, I'm going to send you into the big ass. A pretty good prize closet here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. Wow. That's because you're a hero who saved so many people over the years. All right, Ari Shafir tweeted, he came out years ago and stopped saying it. The story came out 3 days before. That wasn't him dropping it. I'm not sure if that's Ari defending him or not. Someone just sent me that tweet.
Yeah, I can't tell. Is he saying then that he dropped it and therefore it should be forgotten, or he's saying how is that dropping it?
All right, so no, this is what Ari says.
Okay.
He told us a long time ago it wasn't true, so he stopped saying it. We all lie. He realized it was wrong on his own. Okay. Yeah, that's what I said, in a way. It would be easy to dogpile people over bullshitting stories. But there, even some things of you, as years go by, you remember things incorrectly. In this case, I guess he said it early. But there are plenty of things, sports alone, where people, they'll tell you about some crashing tackle, and you've heard about it. Butkus make this crashing tackle, and then now, because the NFL Network and shit, you see this and you're like, okay, it was a pretty good tackle, but it wasn't the tackle that I heard about all these years.
Kill him.
The same thing that happens with old time baseball, where you hear about the greatest, catch ever made, and you're like, it was a great catch, but there's been a lot of catches. I don't know. The guy got a great jump on the ball. I'm talking about Willie Mays, of course. He caught it over his shoulder. Terrific catch. But the way I heard it, it was almost like his legs came off.
You seen Bo Jackson? You see that tape?
Here's Andrew in Jersey. Andrew.
Well, this girl lied about her private plane being shot down over the Middle East.
Well, I
shouldn't have been riding her private plane over there.
I don't know what she was doing.
Was on vacation.
I'd be like the pilot, turn around. Let's go over the Middle West. That's where I feel safer. We were flying over Iran one day, as low as we could.
What?
Spooking cattle is what we were up to. John in Texas. John.
Hey, Bennington.
Yeah.
The thing I get a kick out now is all of these leaders of Dolezal with the NAACP, and then this Black Lives Matter guy who comes out that they're not even black. It's like, did you think nobody knew you growing up? Even your own parents come out to out you as a white person. How ridiculous is this?
Well, see, the thing about that one that I find to be somewhat interesting is I've met enough people in my life who say that they're 1/16th Comanche. You know what I mean? There's always somebody who is a little bit Apache Comanche. They're never some pussy Indians, Right. No one ever says I'm 1/16th Lenape. It just never goes down. It's always one of the real badass
Cherokee. I'm
tribes.
Cherokee.
You're warriors.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm a warrior.
I've had so that's a strange thing of how much makes you that ethnic thing. Because I was only told that I was Irish, and then some English and some German. And you look at them, you're like, I think maybe we picked Irish out because it was the most, romantic partying out of all of them.
Right. Not because it was the majority at all, or
I know for a fact no one from Ireland would consider me Irish, nor do they consider people of 100% Irish descent who were born in Chicago to be Irish.
Saying I'm Irish is a really weird thing. Like, people say it all the time, like, I'm Irish. Yeah. And their mothers weren't born there, their grandmothers. I mean, we're talking way back.
I was raised that way, though. Yeah. I was raised, you're Irish. It's a great day for the Irish. And I'm hey, we're Irish. Woo! And I'm like, I don't think I could prove that in any court of law. Why do we keep saying it?
We're just lying.
But so to say, how much does it take for someone to be black or white, for that matter? You know what I mean? Yeah. Or white at all. The True Romance thing where he's telling the Sicilians, you're actually black. People do that with black, but they never do it with white. You know what I mean? No one will say, well, then that makes you white.
Well, you're white then.
Yeah, your grandfather was white, so you're white. It doesn't go down that way. Bruce Jenner, who we've known as a man all these years, says that he's a woman. And now if anyone else says, I don't think he's technically a woman or she's technically a woman, that's considered like almost racism.
Yeah.
When you say,
you're attacked.
I don't see how he's Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, and even if you are the type of person who you want to completely say, okay, that's your choice, you want to be referred to as a woman, you feel as a woman, you are a woman to you, I'll call you a woman. But then you hear about Caitlyn Jenner, and she's pretty confused. I mean, she seems like she's still figuring things out, but everyone else has to be very solid on the way they refer to her and how they think of her.
Greg in Vermont. Hey, Greg.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hey.
Hey, it's like a good example. It's like the Grateful Dead best ever show, supposedly. Spring tour, 77 at Cornell University. Place held about 3,500 people, but like if you check around online and whatnot, it seems like there's over 40,000 people at that show.
No, it's an interesting thing. So you've heard the concert live many times, and
that's one of the most played Grateful Dead shows ever. Like everybody knows about Cornell 77.
Now, who do you hurt by saying I was there? You don't, I mean, does it really? Is that even really a lie that matters? Yeah, that's the point. When is it a bullshit story that doesn't matter? Until it's a lie that matters. In this case of this kid, obviously, because this was a national tragedy, and there were people in that building running for their lives, which, by the way, doesn't make them heroes. It makes them almost victims. And as far as I know, everyone who was below where the planes hit got out safely. You know what I mean? That's as far as I know, and I couldn't say otherwise. But that one seems, and I think it's pretty well agreed on, that's one of the bad ones. That moves into you're taking, I don't even know if I would say credit, but it's almost like you're lessening it somehow. Now, does that make me judge the guy and think that he should lose his career? No, but I do think you probably need to talk to somebody and, professionally find out why this fucking happened. It's probably not good for you.
And continued it for however many years.
Yeah.
Swearing to it pretty much.
Well, as far as we know, up until 2013.
Yeah, it was
where he brought it up on Maron's podcast.
Yeah, it was the last time they have it recorded, documented of him saying.
How do you know this? How did you find this out so fast? You're just all over this, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm all over the Renazizi 9/11 thing.
How?
Here is Tim in Chicago.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to tag off on what you were talking about. Everybody wants to be a badass Indian. Nobody wants to be from the Potawatomi clan. But, in terms of military, it's always about Navy SEALs. So there's so many Navy SEAL imposters out there. And those guys who pretend to be Navy SEALs, their number one occupation is firearm instructors and martial arts instructors. So not only are they lying, their lines benefit financially, which is disgusting.
Well, there's also guys that said that they went to Brazil and trained with the Gracies, and guys that said that they ran a thing in Japan for many years. I think even Steven Seagal said that he was CIA or some crazy, it's always like, look, I did some things for the government. I can't say. I doubt the government are going to use a movie star, but I don't know.
That I believe, though, oddly enough.
The worst part about that is that they're using that to benefit financially. That's, so there's people who sit at the bar stool at the end of Joe's bar. Yeah, I was in Vietnam. I was one of the original UDTCO guys.
Right.
Harmless for the most part, except that, they make people who think that Navy SEALs look like that guy, that fat ass.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we would all agree that someone who said that they were in Vietnam and saw action, saw were holding their friend, that it lessens the thing for the people who actually experienced it. There was a thing that came out about the people who said they came back from Vietnam and were spit on and called a baby killer.
Yeah.
And you've heard this story all over, and somebody wrote a book about how it was never true. But I remember saying, why would a fucking Marine let a hippie spit on them and not beat the shit out of it? It just doesn't make,
the story
make sense to me.
End with, then I murdered a hippie.
Yeah, I mean, if you fucking met somebody in there, just come back from combat.
I just got off the plane.
It's like the last dude
And
you
it's
want to
always
get
off the
in a
plane.
fight with. Yes.
There's hippies just waiting, mouths full of saliva, ready.
These are guys who really did nothing but get high and lie about seeing that Grateful Dead show.
You know what? Also, to go with the hippie thing, I think that there are so many people of the baby boomer generation who will talk about the 60s and be like, I was a hippie then. Everybody was a hippie. Everybody? No. Most of the country, maybe you listen to some like groovy music, but not all of you were out there protesting with long hair. That was still... Even though it was a big movement, was still a minority of people who were doing that.
Well, I've been to punk shows, but I never said I was a punk back then. Right. It didn't occur to me to say that was my punk phase.
Right.
Just because I saw some fucking bands.
Or even maybe you were a kid who that was the style, so you had long hair, but you weren't political. You were still like a teeny bopper. You were 16 years old and you were dressing in bell bottoms or something.
Yeah, you had bell bottoms and long hair. It doesn't make you a hippie. And even the hippie was like hipster. When people would get called it, they're like, no, stop it. I have fucking long hair.
Right.
I don't live in a commune.
But then time passes and suddenly everyone's like, I was a hippie. I was a real flower child. You probably weren't.
Well, at the time, I was the only hippie Navy SEAL.
I spit on myself.
Yes. But that's because I had made myself laugh. I was doing a show when a newscaster at the time who had also told us that he had lived in a toll booth when he was younger.
What?
Which,
enough room.
But he had explained how he took his motorcycle to Woodstock, and as he came pulling up, Jimi Hendrix was playing, and there was just this sea of people. And I'm on the air with him, and I go, well, you didn't get there till the very last minute because Hendrix closed the festival, and I thought most of the people were gone then. And he looked at me as if I was speaking a different fucking disease. And like, I wasn't even calling him a bullshitter.
Right.
I was just, had watched the fucking Woodstock movie. Another guy who got outed for his books being a lie. And the books are actually pretty well written, but they're fiction, but he told it in the first person. He had written the first book, Million Little Pieces. Yeah. And then he had written a follow-up book. And in the follow-up book, he was friends in his rehab with this older guy who managed was the road manager or something for a band with a singing drummer, right? And the drummer was an asshole. So the interview's over. So I say to him, I just look at him, I go, was that about Don Henley? And he's like, excuse me? I go, the drummer. Was that Don Henley? And it seems like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay. Now at the time, it was like 3 days later before there's only so many singing drummers.
Yeah, right.
Particularly ones that are known assholes.
Levon Helm was a singing drummer, but he wasn't known as a jerk.
But that wouldn't be a big deal to be managing Levon Helm at this, it would have been, whatever. And I figured he was talking about Henley, but he wasn't. And just me bringing up the fact that he didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. I mean, you'd think he would say, no, it wasn't Henley. It was, whoever it would happen to be.
Right.
And And then it was literally just like 3 days later. Now, he said he had written the book as a piece of fiction. They didn't want it. And then when he put I in there, they took the book and it blew up.
Right. They sell better if they're from that perspective.
But even Kerouac wrote as a piece of fiction, and you were supposed to go back and guess who everybody was based upon.
Right.
But now it would be better if you just said, this happened to me. You know, they actually want it.
Make it real, but also make it
that's
the most amazing thing.
They do that with movies, like based on true events, based on real events, when it's, mostly bullshit. They just take like one piece of something that happened in real life and then build a movie around it.
All right, now they're saying the Marin interview was 2009. But Amy did something with him, and she was under the impression that he was in the towers on 9/11. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it should be. It seems like the guy just needs to figure some shit out.
Yeah.
I don't like the dogpile of fucking guy.
I think it's all the fantasy football he's been playing. Maybe that's just riled his brain.
I'd like to make light of this, Chris, like you do. But I can't. Here's our buddy John in Canada. Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I just wanted to comment about the earlier caller talking about people like pretending to be soldiers or members of the military. Up here in Canada, on Remembrance Day on November 11th, there was this piece of shit who was dressed up in like military like formal wear with medals, and his friends and family saw a picture of it, and they commented and said, "No, he fucking wasn't." And he totally got exposed as this asshole that goes around to ceremonies dressed in military formal wear with fake medals, and he just totally got busted.
Again, who would do something like that other than if you had a mental fucking problem?
Well, especially that case, that definitely sounds like someone with a mental illness. You went out and you sourced this uniform and fake medals. I mean, you're deep. You're in pretty damn deep.
You're in way, way deep. That's craziness. That's just fucking crazy. Standing up in front of people and having them salute them. And in the meantime, you're working as a cashier at a fucking Walgreens.
Could you imagine that dude is your uncle, though? You just pick up the paper and you're like, wait, what?
What's he been doing?
I'd separate myself so fast from that motherfucker. Here is Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Hey guys,
hey.
My general belief in life is that if you have lived something, you don't like to talk about it, and if you're talking about something, you probably haven't done it.
Yeah, I mean, I would get that, but the fact of the matter is, there are people who were, in fact, heroes, and they would like to talk about it, and they would like to be known for it.
Sure.
In the same way Joe Montana would be known as a guy who won 4 fucking Super Bowl rings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You know, I was there. I don't want to fucking blame that guy as well. Is he still telling that fucking story? Because Michael Strahan took a fake sack and has ridden it this fucking far.
And Will.
Favre laid down for you, Michael.
That's what really happened.
He gave you that sack. And your whole life turned out to be...
Is she settling?
From the way she was earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great state of... No. Because you yelled now instead of let me just do the introduction. I really wanted to. Joe in Utah. Joe.
Go, Ghostbusters.
And see, I wonder if that even happened.
Is it real?
I'm seriously wondering if that's real.
Tell me if it's real.
It's real.
Do you swear to it?
I swear to it.
Do you?
I mean, I can't swear that's going to be in the movie, but I swear it happened. I hope it's in the movie.
The more you talk, the more you sound like a fucking liar.
Go Ghostbusters.
That part sounds real. That's
the realest thing about this.
Why couldn't I see it if it happened then? That's the part that drives me crazy.
The impression that you saw it.
Why would I be sitting around watching something that embarrassing?
You just ran.
I'm not even sure if we were there.
This better be true.
How do you say what's true and what isn't?
You just tell the truth.
Oh, who can do that? Joe in Utah.
How many guys are out there that say they met Bill Murray? He put his hands on their eye. That guess who it is? How many guys?
I've heard that one quite a bit.
So many times. Yeah, everybody has one of those stories, except for me. And I just don't think it's really happening. Like, everyone in Brooklyn is like, yeah, and then Bill Murray showed up at our party. Yeah,
Shotgun a beer with him. It was awesome.
Come on.
They didn't let me $300. What?
It's amazing how big Bill Murray got with that, like, where he's
beloved.
Iconic, though.
Yes.
Just like, I can't even think of another person like that is so iconic that people can't wait to, just like Bill Murray's at a baseball game being nice to people, and it makes the fucking papers all over the country.
Yeah, everywhere. People love him. I told you, I had a nightmare that Bill Murray was mean to me, and I woke up in a cold sweat.
That's a nightmare that could come true.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Like, he just wasn't nice to me.
That's the beauty of it. It's not like Bill Murray is a saint. You know what I mean? Like, he's a guy that, says some nice things and some mean things.
There was like a movie. I sat up like, oh, God.
The girl Bill Murray did not like. Later on Nightline. What is wrong with you that a beloved saint like Bill Murray would tell you to move your ass?
I just wanted him to like me. I just wanted to be friends.
I'm trying to get her on the air, but I don't know whether I could even get the introduction through to get her. She was too fired up this morning.
Was she? I wasn't there.
Well, she's here during UN week, and she's staying at a place where all the UN people are.
Mm-hmm. You think that's
no?
part of
I don't think that has anything to do with it, but I like to make up excuses. From the great state of Florida, by way of East St. Louis, here comes BL. BL, come on in here.
Oh my God. Oh my
Where's
God.
her music at?
Have some
Don't have the
Springsteen or something? Some kind of Born to Run?
Why would you get Born to Run? Why would that be your song?
It is my motto song. Everybody lives one. We're all liars, really, as we sit and listen to this past 42 minutes. I wasn't allowed on the air.
You weren't allowed on the air because you were so fired up, and I didn't want it to turn as negative as the last time you were on the air.
Well,
you took all your goodwill and were hated. Now, I don't know how your breasts have gotten so gigantic since the last time we saw you.
Well,
they're lovely.
I stopped at Rums with All Greens and bought a bra, and it's real thick. So they're only about a 36C. They're natural, and they've got a very good drop. But
that
they
doesn't look like a C.
Yeah, they're
your breasts are natural.
No, they're fake.
Okay.
Let's try to start being real Americans after this whole conversation.
No, you don't need to go backwards. You need to go
what
forward.
a great conversation. We're all liars when we all wind up thinking
I've
about
heard
it.
your stories. I don't even have to debate that with you. I've heard you say this. Do your headphones work?
We don't need to bring that on there.
Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah, everything's great. I just don't want to be too hot.
You have a headphone jack right there.
My tits are hot, but my jack's not. Some guys were jacking to me on the third floor of my hotel, so I got moved to the penthouse.
I actually,
I'm kidding.
I talked to her manager because they were going to ask her to leave the hotel.
Yeah.
She was rubbing her vagina on the window in front of some workers.
You know what? It's going to get you kicked out.
Sometimes Windex on the woosy works.
Oh, God. Woosy.
Woohoo!
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, I know. It's good. That's an old school.
Last time I saw Gail, she was 5. Am I allowed to say that? I did.
I don't
In
think
Florida.
I was 5. I couldn't have been 5 the
Just let
last
it
time.
go.
I have the picture.
Just let it go.
I was in the buildings, and I have a picture.
Just let it go.
I must have been 10.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Anything that gets her into a
frozen.
All right, so we're about to end the segment, and BL, thank you so much for stopping by. I've got other guests coming in.
It was so great having you.
Is this my only day? You said only one day. Chris says he's busy. He booked me out a month ago. Says he's really busy this week. Is this my only day today? Or since I had to wait so long to get on?
Isn't that were you saying that you only wanted to come here for one day?
No, you said I was only allowed one day. I just thought I could bring some water to the guests.
You called a while ago and said, I want to come to New York. I'll just be here for one day.
No, Chris said it was only one day allowed.
You said one day. You texted me.
Go, bustin' lying bastard, fake bag bitch.
Yeah.
No, I'm here all week if you'll let me.
Why would you be here all week? You said you had a funeral to go to. You wanted to come by for one day.
Was that true?
No, Gail. It's not. Here's what happened. My 100-year-old husband's, all his military items came in to put on his headstone, and he's buried in Philly.
How old is he really?
He was 2 weeks before he died.
2 weeks before he died.
Excuse me.
Old. That's how old he was. What's your age? 2 weeks before
he
he
was
died.
going to be 100 years old.
I like to say 100 years young. And then you also told me that he invented the train or something crazy.
He invented the steam engine?
His father,
Yeah.
in Tappan, New York, Tappan, whichever way you say it. Anyway, he invented the Brock's sampler candy box that you see on sale.
What's that got to do? What's that got to do with the train?
That's my father-in-law.
But what's that got to do with the train?
The Pullman train, the train car. They used to ride around.
What's that got to do with the candy?
That's how they shipped it.
No, Gail. That's how the Packers used to ship their football gear. Okay. Trains are famous.
No, I understand that. What did your family invent?
This is what happened.
Yeah.
They sold, allegedly.
Oh, no, it's allegedly.
Oh, come on.
You never said allegedly to me.
Life is a lie, isn't it? No, I'm kidding. No, honestly. My husband's father needed to feed the family.
Yeah.
He supposedly sold the Pullman train car to George Pullman back in the late 1800s.
And then
That's
Pullman
a coincidence.
Well, they kept the name. Why wouldn't you?
I
pulled the fucking train.
Because you. Well, I know you did.
No.
I know at least 8 guys who claim they banged you the same night.
What's your point, though, Benny? What were you saying?
My point is this: you say he invented the Pullman train, that he sold it to Pullman. That no one fucking invents something and names it after the guy that they're going to sell it.
When you have 2 kids that go to Harvard and you're starting out the money, and you buy a cemetery plot, which I'm to be buried in. Do you know who I'm going to be buried next to? Smokin' Joe Frazier is next to my plot. My name, bitches, right in Philly. It's called Germantown, Pennsylvania.
Right.
That's where I'm going to be buried next to my husband.
So
let's move on.
So you're bragging that one day you'll be buried in a black cemetery in Philly.
No, actually, it's half and half. There's half whiteies.
It's integrated cemetery.
It's beautiful.
There's a
very progressive.
No, there's a section of I say it from the 70s, the Fuzz. I was raised in East St. Louis. I love them. I respect the law.
What are you talking about?
But I have a section of the Fuzz, and I have a section of Smokin' Joe, and then I have the Pullman train.
Now, first of all, your husband was 100 years old, right?
Yes, I
now,
married.
why would you marry somebody 15 years older than you?
I'm 53 this week. Springsteen's birthday. No. Are we going to go into the reason I'm here?
I have no idea.
I don't know why you're here.
I guess. First of all, you asked if you could come in for a day. Now you're trying to get it to be a week.
When don't I do a week, Ron?
Ever. The last time you were here for a week, it turned into a disaster, and all your fans ended up hating you.
Oh, I have lots of fans in New York, all over the country. Canada, by state, Vancouver, British Columbia.
All right, let's get back to this.
Or let's get back to the point.
All
Here's
right,
the deal.
so-
This old man.
He had one, and he... no, let's get back to
There was no
this.
sexual activity. It was a contract. He needed me to save him, and he was going to be put away. So no one would marry him, so I did, because I had nothing going on in my
And
life.
what did he leave you?
He left me a condo, which I sold.
Mhm.
I just sold it. I put all the money away. And there are no more Swiss bank accounts, right?
But you were willing to say at one point that you thought that you were going to get $500,000.
Right at that.
Yeah. And the family stepped in.
The family got, he outlived everyone. So the family, there was one person and they were very happy because no one wanted to, when you're old, no one wants you, y'all. I'm sorry. By the time you hit your 80s and 90s.
You got to find a gold digger for yourself.
It wasn't Anna Nicole Smith, and it didn't end up being that kind of money. It was more like the hundreds. But listen to this.
Well, I'm just saying
You know
this.
who screwed me over bad
Yeah.
is he was a postmaster, and they refused to pay me because he signed on the wrong line. So I took it to the Senate, and now I have to go fight
To
the
the
Senate
Senate?
floor
What?
to get my
amazing.
pension. I can't have my pension.
Why should you have a pension?
Because he wanted me to, because I took care of him every day.
So
I
you
lived
got
in-
all the money and you sold the condo.
Yes, I lived in that condo and did not go outside except to check the mail for 7 years. Call Florida. I see people.
Florida?
The state?
Can I just say this? Flathead sent me this and said BL has seen more dickens than weekends.
That's funny. See? Flathead. He and I may date one day.
You and Flats?
There was a time where we were.
You could be lovers, you think?
After my husband died,
yeah.
I did not sleep with that 100-year-old man.
Okay.
I did not. I could bring in a lie detector. Can't wait. It's
I believe you.
Yeah, I'm going to go find a lie detector right now. Why would I want to think that a gold digger?
It's not a gold digger.
Well, I never saw you with a broke.
All my men were beautiful. Oh, I've married some lovely men.
How many times have you been married now?
That was my third.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So.
Flat may be my fourth. We may get a relationship going.
How come you don't have a single friend that is still friends with you? All of our friends from Florida who have radio shows that never put you on, you have to fly up here and then lie your way in for a week when it was just supposed to be a day.
I just spent front row in Van Halen with a show in Florida.
There's only fucking one row at a Van Halen concert these days.
I was right there. I was right under Eddie Van Halen's cock.
All right, relax.
My God, he's got his Fender Strat right down there and just strummed it, bitches.
Stop trying to be silly.
No,
be a
I'm not
fucking
playing.
person.
Oh my God,
All right,
Eddie!
so who did
can
you
I
go?
tell you, Eddie?
No, who did you
so
go
good.
with?
I went. You know how I got the ticket? Somebody I helped out 20 years ago. They called me up the day before. My luck has been so weird lately. Calls up, just says, "Hey, BL, remember that time you gave up your Justin Timberlake meet and greet pass to my kid?" I said, "Yeah." I called the promoter. He goes, "I have a front row to Van Halen. Would you please take it?" He goes, "I'm too old to go." I said, "Well, so am I, but I'll take the ticket." So I went, and I was front row. Yeah, it was great. I do not. I'm into saving people right now because everybody's a bunch of liars in our nation, and we've got to start telling the truth, like Gail Bangton just said.
Bangton. Now you're saying Bangton. All right.
She's so cute. God love her.
Oh, shit. Now we're going to break.
I can't say God.
We'll be right back.
Oh.
This is the Bennington Show. It's the Bennington Show. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington. Stanley, you said you've got something up on the iBank today that you're excited about.
Oh, so excited. It's off of Instagram. It's TerraBang. It's titled Jen Selter Reinvents the Treadmill Workout. And not only is it Jen Selter on Instagram.
First of all, let me just stop this. We haven't talked about Jen Selter in quite some time.
It's been a while.
Well, now it's time to because she has video on her Instagram. And here she is reinventing the treadmill workout.
All right, so she's crouched. She's crouched and jumping. Now, I don't know whether you can see this from your angle, but it seems to put a little emphasis on her ass.
You know what? I'm kind of picking up on that.
Yeah.
Why does she bother posting pictures when she could just be
jumping on treadmills
all the time?
Now, is anyone else? She's in a catcher's position, cheeks spread, and she leaps forward and back,
and a very low crouch while on the treadmill.
That's
itself.
a catcher's position.
I don't want to question Selter because clearly she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
But do you think that the treadmill aspect is necessary? Don't you think she could just also be hopping on something stationary there? It's going to give the same effect.
I was just wondering how many people yelled out, "My dick," when you said that. It seemed like quite a few. But is it the most famous ass that we have today?
In this new social media world, yeah. I think it blows.
Okay, in the new social media world. Not even just me saying today. He had to now change it to the new social media world.
Because I think some people would say Kim Kardashian, but this ass is the more popular ass.
More popular than Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Now, is it because I guess because she's more slight in the middle, I think, than Kim is. I mean, Kim is,
she's a big gal.
She's got
She's pregnant,
curves,
though.
yeah. But hers is otherworldly.
I will say this. This may be the greatest, is it a Vine?
It's
Looks like a Vine.
Instagram video.
That's not a good name, though. Instagram video.
Maybe
I'll
something
just call
snappy.
it a Vine.
Okay, sure. Go
All
ahead.
right, I'm going to call it a Vine and say it's the greatest that ever happened. Now, Joey Jojo, are you an ass man?
I'm an ass man, yeah.
Where would you put Jen Selter in the world today and this thing where she's bouncing her ass back and forth?
I have to rank it pretty high. A minus.
Now let's just say this: does this do anything? Look, he's a very tough judge. He's a very tough judge. Does this actually build her ass up, or is this her ass is bigger than she's just doing stuff with it?
I don't know if this is an actual exercise. That's my point. I'm not sure what she's doing is an exercise so much as it is a display, a lovely display.
Now, could we take, let's say, a narrow, dried up ass like BL's? Have her leap back and forth.
And
BL, why don't you try this exercise?
Okay, that's looking pretty good. Careful there.
Right, has to always push it too far. Because BL's ass, I've heard it promoted as her ass looks like children's elbows. So just think of a little kid's elbows. Now, you got the fake tits, but you wouldn't get a fake ass? That wouldn't occur to you?
I'd sew an ass in. I'd take one for the team. If we could put it Vince Neil years ago, remember he showed his facelift on social media?
Anything that she has, any reference stops at 1984.
Well, he's my buddy. He's listening right now, by the way. Hey, Vince.
Then he would call and back you up.
He can't get through.
Yeah, why are you lying?
It's lie day.
Vince Neil, if he was, in fact, listening, would call in and back up BL. If not, this is right up there with your Joe Walsh lie. Another reference that she comes up with.
No, he wanted to marry me. I was going to be Mrs. Joe Walsh, but I wouldn't put out. No. Let's not. You know what,
No,
Benny?
but you would marry a 100-year-old man whose father invented the Pullman car and a collection of candy to give out on Arbor Day. I think ridiculous. If you would fucking commit, that could be your ass. And by the way, what is she? I've never even seen a leotard as tight as this thing that she has on.
Yeah, because it
That's
actually
condom tight.
Yeah, it actually contours even within the crack.
It rises and separates the ass cheek.
It's amazing.
Well, who is this again? This is Jen Solters.
Yeah.
This is Jen Solters.
Can I tell you something? I can't believe you guys are buying into that ass. That is so fake.
That is a real ass.
I have a girlfriend that bought an ass. She got it installed. You have to lay on your face for 10 days when you get it installed. And it's
Why
almost
does she just lay on my face for 10 days? With that brand new ass.
Anyway, real quick, I'm not a doctor, and this is medically speaking.
That's
allegedly.
a real ass.
No, you put 2 chicken breasts, you sew it back up, and you have to lay on your face for 2 weeks at your house. But my girlfriend slipped. So all of a sudden she had a bigger thigh one night, and her friend looks around, and her ass cheek actually fell out of the hole that the doctor had dug. No joke. Call a doctor. Call a medical professional.
I'll check with Vince Neil when he calls in, you goddamn liar.
I would buy an ass with you guys. Can we get some New York doctor to give me an ass? I'd love to have an ass in these days.
All you got to do is work for these days in this social media times. Yeah. Yeah.
God.
That's a real ass. Am I right, Gail?
No.
It's hard to say, but I know that people have asked her about it, and she says that it's real. I mean, I'll give you this. It's incredibly spherical. If
this isn't real, it's worth than a 9/11 lie.
I mean, here's the thing. It's almost like a globe, like stuck on the end.
Thank you.
There's 2 globes. So if it's real, it's otherworldly.
It's real.
It's real.
I don't think any man has a problem saying it's real. Women will lie. But if that ass can be bought, then go buy one, ladies.
Yeah, I mean,
get it. What's stopping you?
It doesn't make it any less hers.
Let me tell you.
What are we peddling, Wyndham? Tito's? What do we want to all go buy?
Look, if I took a fucking broomstick, right?
Yeah.
And snapped them over BL's fake tits, she wouldn't even look up at me.
Okay.
But that ass, I guarantee you, if I hit her in the ass with that, it would break.
They make points. The thing that Gail was saying was the
Yeah, because look, this ass is totally ridiculous, and I've seen fake asses before, and they are sloppy. They're crazy looking. The actual implants look nuts. Like you can tell if it's fake because it looks too big. It looks too nuts. Like it's not. This is a real ass. Is a real, genuine woman's ass, and she works hard for it.
Yes, she does work hard for it. She works hard so the rest of us can appreciate and love.
It's her whole life. That's what she's built her life around, is that ass. Remember, that ass has built its life around her. I'm not sure yet.
This is the era of the ass. Could this be the most amazing time that we've ever seen beautiful bodies on anybody and any time?
You know, you're so smart when you come up with questions like that make us all ponder. Obviously, it's the era of the ass, and that's the exact same time you got your brick tits.
My tits aren't bricks. You feel it. I'll let Gail feel them. They're squeezy. I just have a bigger bra on today.
I guarantee you I could, from here, throw a baseball at your tits and not knock you down.
It's just a weird
You could
top.
fucking ref in the fucking American League without a chest protector.
It fucking ricochet.
If you want to touch my tits, anybody, Gail,
I'll tell you,
prove it.
here's the way I'll prove it. I'll throw you in the East River, and I bet you go right to the fucking bottom.
That doesn't seem safe.
I'm taking my bra off. That's it.
And there would be no difference. There would be no difference at all.
You know what, Ron? Go ahead. Fine. That's fine. Last time I visited the city, your place.
Now, there's a story out right now that people are mad at this mother. Put up the hiker and her daughter. Apparently, the mother is extreme climber, hiker, all-around fun gal. And she takes her daughter along with her. And
does all these outdoorsy things.
Doing all these outdoorsy things. And a lot of the people are upset about it. And
Because they
saying,
think it's unsafe,
The child is in danger. The child is in great danger.
Now, here's the thing. This woman was raised in Arizona. I had
Right.
read that. So this was kind of like her life.
By the way, the mom is beautiful.
Oh yeah, she's stunning. She's a beautiful woman.
What is it up at over the I-band? Chris is struggling very quickly to
It's something
find out.
mom totes or tot. Or
Totes the tot.
looks up totes the tat.
Or just put up O-M, and see if that search doesn't work for you.
Yeah, that didn't work. Here we go.
Totes or tot on every adventure. All right, let's take a look at this. So there they are, enough that if the toddler were to fall, we couldn't expect life.
Sure, this is extreme sports that involve a 3-year-old. Yeah, there she is being
And there she is at the top of a giant cliff somewhere out west. Keep
Yeah.
going. All right, the mom is beautiful.
She's stunning.
Hippie beautiful.
Pretty hot.
I
There's
love
the
this
kid
picture.
climbing.
That's the mom climbing, and then the daughter's like doing her hair. It's like really cute. She's an earth mama.
She's an earth mom. Now, Chris, too dangerous?
Yeah, I think you shouldn't have to, because look, it's a kid, right? Like, kids could do whatever could just, go off script. But what if the kid just freaked out and just, tripped or ran off or
All right,
whatever?
hold on. Let's just see where Chris went with this. Kids can do whatever they want, but what if the kid went off script and tripped or whatever?
I'm going off script.
Dude, I should have fucking brought you in for the nutty shit. I'm sorry. I see more BL in you than I know what to do with. When I try to have a real conversation, it becomes madness. BL, do you have a problem with this Earth Mom taking the kid around?
This is she looks kind of like a Jessica Biel, don't you think?
Okay,
The
so
mom?
a Jessica Biel thing.
Yes, I have a problem with it. Of course, you're a mother. You protect your kid. You do everything to protect it.
But
of course, you're a dad. Either way, mom or dad.
If a dad, let's say a dad is a very outdoorsy dad and he takes his kid out and they hunt and they do, I think you're just more used to seeing men.
If you have kids, you bring them into your world.
Right.
These people live out west. This is what the mom does. This is what the kids did. if your fucking family are circus fucking freaks, you end up working in the circus.
Or if you're nudist, your kid is walking around in the nudist colony.
If your dad is a fucking fisherman, he takes you out 200 miles. That's just the way the world works. First of all, there's people who think that it's dangerous if their kids live in fucking New York City. You know what I mean? They're like, why would you keep a kid in New York City? Dangerous things happen there. I'm sorry. Does that mean if you live in a tornado zone, you can't have a kid because tornadoes go through there? You know, that guy who got killed, that Australian guy who got killed by the fucking stingray or whatever through his chest.
Yeah.
He had his kid out with him everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what you do. If you're a zookeeper, your kid's in the lion cage. Let's go over here to Jeremy. Jeremy, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, honestly, I have more of a problem with parents that have like 100-pound 5-year-old than I do with this woman.
Those kids are adorable, though.
They are
There's
really
something
cute.
about a morbidly obese toddler that you're just eating. Yeah, so mushy, come over here, you little Jenny donut. Now, there is another picture at the end with the mom and all of her friends with their asses out. And there's some people also upset about that. You can't make that larger, Chris?
Need to see that booty.
Yeah. You got to see, none of them have asses as good as Seltzer.
No. No, they couldn't. They couldn't
I don't see the problem with it. I just feel like if you're a tightroper, you teach your kid to work. This kid lives in this environment, by the way. The kid lives out west.
Yeah.
You know?
But I really do think it would, you know, if it was a dad with his kid and they were
Absolutely.
camping or they go out hunting.
Yeah.
Those things can be dangerous.
You know, like the vacations I went on when I was a kid were my dad's vacations. We didn't want to fucking camp and fucking get up early before dark. Get up, everybody.
4 a.m. Get the boat.
Yeah, they're early to get them. I'm like, God, what? We don't even have a TV here.
Fish for breakfast?
Madness. Why don't we stay here and have sandwiches? Sleep in, wake up, and have some breakfast sandwiches. I don't want to eat fish in the morning. So that's the thing. If you are born into any family, like BL, your mom ran a whorehouse, why wouldn't she have you down there sucking that dick first thing in the morning?
It's the way you were raised.
But BL, you have a problem with this, right?
I woke up every morning, got a pack of cool filter kings, 50 cents. Brought him back to daddy. Uncle Tooey touched my leg. What was your question? Approach the bench.
First of all, the fact that you had an Uncle Tooey named after Tuinals. He should have been taken away.
Oh, they're taking Pall Malls, cool, a bunch, 3 cigarettes off the market. Off. Camel, Pall Malls, and
First
something
of all,
else.
they're not.
They're taking camels off the market.
They're not. Don't listen to her. She doesn't know what the fuck she's saying.
No, they are. Look it up on the iBang. 3 cigarettes are going to have to leave soon, allegedly, in my opinion.
But then don't bring it up.
Okay.
Because you got nothing to. These companies have been around forever for the people who want them.
Want them out. Pall Malls and Camels are 2 of them, and there's a third one, and you got camel toe, so be careful.
What'd you just say?
I saw a 5-year-old with camel toe in Florida.
Oh, you can't even talk that way. You're going to go in. Because it sounds like abuse. You're fucking batshit.
No,
You're
I'm-
batshit.
Well, can't you put a pair of underwears,
What did she
underoos
need?
on that kid?
What does she need to fucking calm her down? Did you have too many Coca-Colas and M&Ms?
M&Ms and a Coke on the way, 49th
Why would you
Street
do that?
and
That's your go-go juice?
Avenue of Americas.
What do we have to calm her down? What, like...
Is there like a tea, maybe?
There's a sleepy time tea. That
Do we have a sleepy time?
It's literally called sleepy time tea.
All right, why don't we do this? Chris,
Yeah.
sit down and be quiet or else I'm putting you in a penalty box.
Yes, sir.
Sit down for a second. Chris,
Yeah.
I want you to go down and get her a sleepy time tea because if she makes another noise, you know, until she calms down.
Something herbal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Something that's going to chill her out.
I got that.
All right, go ahead. Hold on down there. Wait.
Yeah.
I just thought of something.
I got the tea.
Every time in the past I've sent you somewhere, you've gotten lost. Do you know where you're going?
When's the last time that happened?
It was last summer.
I'm going right down. Look.
It
we can
is
look.
just down
I'm
the
going
hall.
route down that hall. Make
You're
a
going,
left.
you just said I'm going route down that hall.
Right down that hall.
I got bad enough for her saying pow mows or whatever she's calling it.
I'm just going down the hall. I'm going to make a left. I'm going to make the second left. I know exactly what left I'm making.
Down the hall.
Yeah.
Second left.
Yeah.
He'll be
and
fine.
Then we go to the kitchen. They have a bunch of tea. One of them is called sleepy time tea. I'm going to make her a cup of tea of the sleepy time variety.
Yeah, he's got
Do
this.
not get lost.
No. I will not.
Chris,
I work here.
do not get lost. Down the hall.
Yeah.
Second left.
Yeah.
Sleepy time tea. Pour it into BL's big goddamn lie hole.
Done.
And then we'll put her to sleep.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Thanks. There he goes.
He'll be fine.
Fuck you, Chris Stanley.
All right. See, you don't need to curse like that. Here's Kirk in Houston. Kirk.
Hey, man, I'm riding along with my kid, and I'm telling him how Gail does a spot-on Pebbles impression. I wonder if she'd do it.
Why would a kid like that? Why would a kid even know Pebbles?
I didn't.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, weirdly, Kirk, you just laughed like Barney. You're the Barney. That's a Barney laugh. Yeah.
Well, come on, Fred.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, do your Pebbles one more time. So weird.
This is why he loves it.
Thanks, Kirk.
Thank you.
I'm glad I could help.
All right, it
Make
is
a child's day.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have some sleepy time tea back here in just a little bit.
I know.
It's 866-766-0339. 866-766-0339. Joey Jojo, make sure you give me the new phone number tomorrow, would you?
Will do.
Brand new.
Brand new phone number that we all love. I don't want to keep doing 866-766-0339. Hey, who's this on the hotline?
It's Chris. I tried to get the tea, but I don't know where I am now. I got lost.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Chris.
I believed in you, Chris. I thought you could handle this.
I think I made the third left. I'm not sure.
You were supposed to take the second left.
God, I don't know where I am.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
It's time for Where Am I?
Christ, where am I?
If you can figure it out, you can win.
Oh, God, where am I?
Brought to you by Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, part of the Wyndham family of brands. There's a Wyndham waiting.
Chris Stanley is lost again. Call in and tell him what city he's in and when. It's 866-766-0339. That's 866-766-0339. We'll send you into the pretty good prize closet. All you got to do is let us know where Chris is. Chris, how the hell did you get lost again?
Can't believe it.
Dude, I don't know, man. I was going towards the kitchen, and then I forgot if it was the second or third right, and I guess I made the third one, and now I'm wherever I am now. I don't know where I am.
We're supposed to make a left to begin with.
I don't know.
How the hell can anybody get so damn lost as you do?
I don't know. It was a straight line down from the studio, and now God knows where.
It doesn't look familiar to you at all?
Well, I can tell that it is an East Coast city.
All right, you're definitely in East Coast city. Well, that should be
city?
Yeah, that should be
be.
that should be easy enough when we know it's an East Coast city. By the way, it means that he didn't walk into a portal of any kind. Todd, can you help him out? He's somewhere on an East Coast city.
Oh, how about Providence, Rhode Island?
Oh, that's a good one. Are you in Providence? Chris, are you in Providence?
Not in Providence.
Not in Providence.
Okay, that was a good guess.
Ooh, incorrect.
All right, look around, see if you can see anything else, Chris.
Okay, so I've been walking around for a little bit, and I definitely know that this city's divided into 5 wards.
Oh, it's divided into 5 wards.
You gathered that, huh?
That's
I've
good
been
to
walking around
know.
for a while now.
Yeah.
helpful.
Joe, it's an East Coast city, and it's divided into 5 wards.
5 wards. New York City.
Yeah, there are 5 boroughs. You mean boroughs, Chris?
You must mean boroughs.
Ward. I'm not in New York City. I'm definitely not there.
Oh, incorrect.
Damn, so we know it's East Coast. It's 5 wards. Look around. Is there anything else you see, Chris?
All right, so I walked into this park, and it says it has the nation's largest collection of cherry blossom trees.
Oh, that should be easy enough. Hey, Tom, do you know where he is?
Is he in BL's vagina?
In BL's vagina. No, that was cherry blossoms, not old scabs.
Oh, man.
Now, Chris, you got to be in D.C., right?
I am not in D.C.
I thought D.C. had the largest collection.
That's what I was thinking.
This city does, that I'm in right now.
I'm shocked.
All right. Is there anything else you can tell us?
Okay, so I just, all right, on the floor, there was this old-time magazine from 1996, and it says it ranked this city the most dangerous city in the nation.
Most dangerous city in the nation, but only in 1996.
But also full of cherry blossoms.
I wouldn't want to be in a place with cherry blossoms and danger.
It's a very polarizing city.
Steve.
Is it Washington, D.C.?
Has it turned into Washington since I brought it up?
No, it is not.
Yeah.
Still not Washington, D.C.
Still not Washington.
No.
Oh, incorrect.
Anything else you can tell us about this city?
Oh, I just walked by a hospital. It said Joe Pesci was born here.
You're walking out. Joe Pesci was born there.
Really? Just a plaque
there's a
outside?
plaque in the hospital.
Now I do think it's BL's vagina. Mike, are you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
I'm just wondering, Boston?
Boston.
No, it's not Boston.
All right, let's go over everything. East Coast City, divided into 5 wards, cherry blossoms. 96, it was the most dangerous city in the nation. Joe Pesci was born there. Anything else you can tell us?
Oh, the New Jersey Devils are based here.
All right, the New Jersey Devils play there.
Okay.
Yeah, under the cherry blossoms. Christian, what do you got?
New York City?
New York City is not the home of the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, incorrect.
You'd think it would be, but it's not.
In this case, it's not. Sam, do you have an answer for us? Sam, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Hey, centaurs have shitty senses of direction. I know that. So, what about Cherry Hill, New Jersey?
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
No, incorrect.
Oh.
Do you guys thought it was Cherry Hill?
Very close, though, with the cherry thing.
Yeah. Still a pretty good ride, though. Here's Rick. Rick, you got an answer.
Is it Jersey City, New Jersey?
Jersey City, New Jersey.
Oh, incorrect.
Sorry. I don't think we're going to be able to find him in
Jeez,
time.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Bob. Bob, do you have an answer?
Yes, he's in Belleville, New Jersey.
Belleville, New Jersey.
No, not in
incorrect.
Belleville.
Not in Belleville. Hey, Johnny, what do you got?
Yeah, is he in Newark?
In Newark, New Jersey.
Yes!
Correct.
Drag queen walking by, Gail.
Missed it.
Run out and see if you see what it is. But first, let us know who's playing.
The Where Am I game show segment is presented by Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. There's a Wyndham waiting. Save up to 15% when you book 7 days in advance at Wyndham.com. Terms and conditions at Wyndham.com.
You're going to run and check on your drag queen? Gail loves drag queens and likes to meet them. When I said drag queen, I thought it was BL walking back around. BL, when did you get rid of your Bruce Jenner cock and go straight Caitlyn?
I got nothing.
Why can't you? Oh, you got nothing. You can't. What happened? You panic? Are you in a panic right now?
I want to know where Chris Stanley is.
Why won't you answer the host question, though?
I'm devastated about Bruce Jenner. I can't even talk about it.
All right. Back to your whole head. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. The Bennington Show. Stanley, get back here as quick as you can. We'll see you in just a minute. BL has been sitting in with us. And Gail just ran off to... I was hoping to see... By the way, you guys missed it. BL locked up on air with me when I asked her a question. Just
what?
Basically had nothing. After all these days of butting in, what if I could get her on Denny's show? That would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't a drag queen?
I couldn't see. She had just walked out. She was just getting on the elevator once I walked up. I only saw
we
very
need
big
to
hair.
know when drag queens come in. Gail.
I'm going to get a drag queen alert stars right now. Today.
Well, you were told to do it quite some time ago when you saw. Who did you see in here?
Oh, who was it who I saw? Oh, well, I saw Alaska Thunderfuck.
And she's the most famous of all?
Yeah, she's my favorite.
Now, how's things going on your contest?
It's going very well. My week has been completed. The judgments are in, and I think they have one last week, one more section of stuff to do, and then the final.
No, your judgment hasn't been made public yet?
No, it has not been made public yet, I don't think.
Tell everybody where this is at.
This is at notsafeforwork.com, and it is 4 and work with an E.
Now, you are one of the judges. Did your picture get up?
It is up, yeah. I think it was put up a couple
Probably
weeks
not there
ago.
anymore.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's still up there now. But this week they're doing, I think, celebrity impersonations or something.
To me,
So
that's the most important thing.
it's essential.
Yeah. Who would you do yours on?
Ooh,
I would do Cher if I was a drag queen.
yeah, good. no one ever does that one.
By the way, speaking of which, did you see... who's the little girl who wears the kitten ears?
Ariana Grande.
Kitty cat. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
All right.
she was on Jimmy Fallon last night. She did impressions of Celine Dion, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera. And this little girl, as much as I make fun of her and hate the pop stars and can't follow her music, she's got pipes. The fucking sounds that come out of this little kid blew me away. I don't know whether it's up. Sometimes we put the late night clips up, but not today.
Did they bring up the donut licking?
No, I don't think so. I think he let that go.
Yeah.
It's much like this 9/11 thing.
Sure.
It happened. What are we going to do? Punish somebody for the rest of their life?
You just can't.
Move on.
He was just a young man.
He was a young man with a dream. A dream of having everyone pay attention to him.
She's just a young girl with a donut.
Please. Enough with the fucking constantly running and trying to grab clips because we're talking. And then when we need one, you're smelling that soap like a crazy woman.
It smells so good, though.
Let me see.
Nice soap.
She didn't make it. She fucking took it out of her room.
It's stolen.
All that means is you're not using any soap. It just means that you're powdering instead of soaping up again.
Listen here, Benny. My crotch smells better than any of those trees you people were just talking about, okay? I have got some orange blossom tree woos. It's shaped like the Boise
Joey,
State Field.
Come in here. You're going to smell this old fucking crab trap of hers.
Okay.
No. Benny, no.
Yeah.
Bad dog. You don't ask.
Probably looks like the surface of the moon.
It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful golden palace you've ever laid eyes on.
Is that right?
Yes.
Because I remember when it fell out once.
It didn't fall.
When you had that car accident, your box fell out.
Oh.
It was fucking hanging from a string.
Ouch. It's not a disco ball.
I know it isn't. But it was
It's just as festive as one.
She had it tied up. I thought she was wearing a fucking wire. She had it tied down her leg. Remember, I was the only one to visit you in that fucking hospital.
I had 42 people in the waiting room. I got hit by a drunk driver, cut off finger, chopped off.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How fast you go through that money?
Year.
You were, yeah.
My attorney said he could get me a full $1 million. I said, no, I rolled the Hooters van. I can't do that. The chicken wing person van. And anyway, I got hit by a drunk driver, but I live to talk about it, so that's all I care about.
Yeah, talk about it too much.
The wing survive?
Will.
See?
No, she's got a busted wing. You know she lost her finger, right?
I know.
The guy was six
thanks for
times the
knowing.
legal limit. I mean, I know we all got the great thing about living in a big city like we're in here in New York City. So excited to be here. Thanks.
What is it, Grandma?
You just call a cab, man. You just jump in.
You
when
can
you
fucking Uber from anywhere now. You can get a fucking Uber in the desert.
Oh yeah, I Ubered and almost got my car turned over in Miami.
Why would you have your car?
Because
were you an Uber driver?
Because the unions and all that. They're going crazy. You can't. The yellow
I forgot
cabs.
you used to be a fucking limo driver at one time too.
Yes,
that's how you ended up blowing Joe Walsh.
I didn't blow him. He
Jerked
sat-
him off in your face.
No. He sat up. It was before '93, before they went on Hell Freezes Over tour. The Eagles threw him into rehab because he was such a disaster. He was in my car. I couldn't do nothing with him. He was just out of control, allegedly. But I drove him 2 weeks.
Why are you saying allegedly? You were the person there.
Yes, it's true. No, I drove him around for 2 solid weeks.
That was to replace me that time, right?
I don't know who they replaced.
Well, remember your fucking boyfriend was my GM, and when me and Ronnie went out, he tried to put Joe Walsh on the air for a couple of weeks, and then Joe was like, I'm not staying here forever.
Well, they weren't allowed to play your best ofs, so instead of something like that, they brought in.
They put Joe Walsh in, and this is the thing.
Really?
He actually did this. I'm thinking of a number. Whoever can guess it can win tickets.
Oh, that's good.
It was really fucking hilarious.
It's crazy.
It was just fucking Joe Walsh thinking of numbers.
Well, I got blown out by him too. He broke up with me. So you were gone. I was gone. I was driving limos. So I was so heartbroken because we were broke up. So I drove
You broke
Joel
up his marriage.
I did not.
You fucked him while he was still married.
No, I did not.
Yeah, everybody knew it.
It's not. This is
Biella,
big
I'm not
lie.
fucking judging you. I don't care who you do anal with.
Buddy, I don't do. I've never
doesn't
done
judge.
anal. I've never taken anal.
He said that's the only way he could come. He said that your fucking vagina was so big.
Wow.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I do 100 kegels a day. How do you? I've never had a kid. I've got the
Kegels?
tightest
She's
pussy
doing
in New
them
York
right
City.
now.
Fucking knocked out during a wing accident.
Listen,
Hold on,
I dated.
Vince Neil's on the.
He
on
is
the
not.
phone.
Stop it. Oh, here
Wait,
we go.
no, it's Neil Schoen.
No, you know what?
Why do you lie about
I
shit?
have all kinds of people listed. David Wells is listening. Vince
Wells.
Neil's listening.
Seriously, you are a 9/11 truther about your own self.
You know what's weird? You know my 9/11 story? It's 3 seconds long.
All right, I'm going to time you.
Real quick. Just mentioned
1,000,
Wells. Just mentioned
2,
Wells.
1,000,
All right, this is a really good story. It was
3,
really
1,000.
nice.
That was
done.
it. You were going down to David Wells during fucking.
No, he
Yeah.
was my best man at our wedding. No, we were down by Wall
you
Street.
have one fucking reference that is current.
My
Just
life
one.
is
It's in the past.
my life has always been around famous people, and I love the listeners too. So between the listeners and the famous people, I have no time for friends. I make love to the microphone,
When's
buddy.
the last time you had a steady radio gig?
Probably Sports Chicks, 9 years, CBS.
9 years ago.
It ran 9 years.
When was the last time
that I had
What
my
was-
real show with my own name?
Oh my God, why is this a
Yeah,
difficult
it's
thing?
probably been 10 years. Yeah, you're right. 10
What
years.
was the year? Oh yeah, because I saw you came up with Lynn, right? And somebody.
Lynn Austin, yes.
Yeah. And then she went on without you? She's still in the air, right?
No, Lynn's not doing. She's got teenage girls now. She's a Playmate July '86, but she's got 3 daughters.
Love it.
She and I text. We're
Yeah.
friends.
You
She
still
just
see her?
lost. She just lost her father last month, and she was really into making sure that I was part of it. And the funeral was beautiful.
Because you were married to him?
Well, he loved me. He looked like Elvis. God,
Yeah.
I
Costello?
I loved him. Elvis Presley.
Mhm.
Lynn Austin's father looked just like him. But anyway, so yeah, she was really good about making sure I was included, and I cleaned up everything.
Well, that's why she wanted somebody can come over
No,
there
I'm
on a
kidding.
fucking vacuum cleaner.
No, she had a wonderful father. She's devastated. Yeah, they were really close. So, but anyway, that was my last gig. So I'm hoping current something soon.
It looks like Sirius is very, very interested in you right now. Sirius is just crazy about you. There are people mad about this picture that's up. The Titans of late night. They think that if you look at this is all the people with late night shows, that perhaps there's too many gray and black suits and no skirts or dresses. all the guys look like they're 30 to mid 50s, white or light skinned black. But no women at all. So suddenly women's groups, I don't know why they need a picture to finally wake them up. But there are no late night roles for women. Now, there are plenty of, if you want to go on in the afternoon, why the housewives are, making bread or doing laundry. Yes, you can go on with Rachel Ray, who has a cooking show for, as far as I know, has never professionally cooked herself.
Yes, during prime bread making time.
Yeah, she's prime bread making. She's going to get you 30 minutes or less. But does this, Chris, seem unfair to you?
Well, the one woman that was in late night, she stepped out. So I don't think it's unfair. It's just that this is what the landscape looks like right now.
And always.
Yeah.
Right now and always before, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a gathering of madmen.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a madman look about it.
I mean, it's certainly, even like the pose and the style is very unapologetic that it's a boys club.
Well,
They're like,
most of the guys
no.
have a man spread going on right there, too.
Jimmy Fallon's got that man spread.
It actually looks like he's hanging his balls off of a bar stool.
There's 17 guys up there. That's how many guys I've slept with.
Bullshit.
It is. It's how many.
In one fucking night.
The whole picture looks like everybody I've screwed my whole life. That's what bums me out. But anyway, your thoughts,
Two
Ron?
light-skinned black guys?
She goes with a paper bag roll.
Yeah. This is how many guys you remember sleeping with. And by the way, oral is part of it, BL. And you're fucking known for oral.
No, I'm not a big oral girl. You know that.
Everybody says.
I was here at Christmas. I told you I get the head tap. Come on up, honey. No.
Just stop it.
Okay.
It's no good anymore.
So it's not that you're not big on it. They're not big on what.
You're fucking gnawing on it like it's an ear of corn. She's actually turning it.
I don't
what was
like
that fucking noise.
I don't like big penises, Benny. Jesus, how many times I got to tell you?
Every guy that you're in has had a small penis, tiny little penis.
Dating. I dated one guy from Cornell University, basketball player. That thing, I kissed him on the fourth date. It came up out of the Levi's 501s. I said, oh, hell no. He was in love with, I broke his heart all over Tampa Bay.
I don't know who you're talking
Where
about.
are we at now? Holy shit. Okay, so you're asking me if I fucked 17 guys. Yes, I told you.
I never said
One
that.
night stand out of all of them. That's not bad. And I gave 2 blowjobs to some guys that I wish I wouldn't have.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
She really sings, you know?
Yeah, she does.
You don't have to push her much.
Oh, no.
You put her hand to the fire, she
don't want
gives
the
all the information.
You don't want the fucking cop to get her hands on her. She'll fucking give it away. She'll tell ISIS where our tanks are.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now, give it away, give it away.
That's not funny to anybody.
It's not.
Here's our buddy Blowhard. Go ahead, Blowhard.
You know, it just sounds like he took some lady out of Bellevue and just gave her, like a crazy homeless person in Central Park, her talking about her vagina smelling and her blowjobs and stuff.
Yeah.
This is like repulsive, disgusting, awful radio.
I'm guilty.
And I really think that it's time just to escort her out. It's just so horrible to hear this stuff. And the non sequiturs and just the craziness.
Look, I'm guilty. What can I say? I gave an old friend.
Went to Bellevue and just took her home, and it's like, hey, you want to be on the radio? It sounds like insanity.
I just was going to give you anal, sir. Sorry about your luck,
There
buddy.
you go. You know, it's like repulsive for a woman to talk like that. But just picturing you and just it's like I want to throw up. You make me sick. And they should really just take you now and just put you outside and just wait till the show's over, and then they should just give you a happy meal and take you back to your mental hospital.
You know what? It looks like you're reading it off the script, buddy. Okay? It looks like you're calling in for somebody.
You know
You're
what?
not real. You're fake.
Yeah, I wrote a script. Yeah, I definitely wrote a script.
I'm guilty of giving an old friend a shot. There's no doubt
That
about
was so
that.
nice of you, Ronnie. And normally when you bring in your Florida friends, they're good people. But this woman is just. I mean, like I said, it sounds like she just like just got out, and she's just should be like in Central Park right now, urinating in just out on the street.
She will be.
She'll be. Yeah, this is like, is she living in a cardboard box? Where is she staying?
Is that not good enough for you, sir? I'd be with you if you would live in a box with me, but no, you know what? You're highfalutin.
And you're highfalutin. I mean, come on. What year is it?
Yeah, she's just
What
fucking
year?
crazy.
It's the year of you and me. I love you.
Ronnie, I love you, brother, but this woman is like the most impulsive woman I've ever heard on the show.
I understand.
I'm not tossing your salad, buddy. Get out.
All right.
Fucker.
Yeah, you can't talk.
That guy?
You can't. He's a listener.
I love you.
He's a listener, and you really can't, talk to listeners that way.
How come the listeners love me except him? That guy.
I'm not getting it. I could read your text right
Tell
now.
us more about your vagina and how it smells like trees. What the fuck does that mean?
She said it smelled like a tree, and I don't know. I mean, I know it's some living, maybe the moss. I don't know what it was.
And I really love Gail as for a female perspective.
Yeah,
But when this nut job comes out,
it seems like Gail started acting like her today too. Like Gail was like, Tootsie or whatever his name was.
She wanted to crush a kitten one day. I heard her say, and her obsession with drag queens is kind of nutty, but in a good way nutty.
Right, I say.
I like that. She's a little creative, but this BL.
Yeah, she's.
Sir, I'm sorry. I love you. Don't be mad, okay, buddy?
You guys have a sister?
I didn't mean to be nasty, sir.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's too late now. You've already ruined it now. How many people right now are throwing up their lunches and, just sitting at the radio saying, what the hell is going on with this woman and her discussing who she blows and...
Yeah, she's blown a lot of guys.
Like, if you looked really hot, I mean, it might be something, but, it's not even... It just sounds repulsive.
Even back then, BL, even back in the day, you were a +1. Anytime I ever saw you, it was somebody else. That's what the celebrity stuff that you do.
I live on my personality, Ron. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
There's some girls that can get by on their personality, and all of a sudden they go from a 2 to a 6 or a 4.
Right.
But you always act like I'm really ugly. I mean, you act like you wouldn't like this guy just talked about. And this is a nice man. I know him. We talked to him this is my 4th visit to Cirrus. Okay?
And still nobody wants you here.
No, not a damn nobody. You can't get me anybody, which is fine. I love coming up. But this poor man now, he hates me. He thinks I'm a nasty tramp, just like a dirty old whore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like.
Like a dirty old whore?
Remember back when they used to toss your panties in your bag?
Mm-mm.
Back in the day, Gail, when a man had sex with you in the 60s, he'd throw you out when Janis Joplin would be playing, and he'd say, hey, don't forget your bag and the panties. They put them in a brown paper bag.
Seriously,
back then.
you sound like you're having a fucking stroke.
No!
There was no such
That
thing.
sounds like a time
Yeah.
that existed.
Yeah.
I think I've heard something.
It's the 60s, and Joplin's, the Porsche is going to go up Sotheby's. Did you guys see that?
Stop with
Her
the
Porsche.
crazy fucking... You think that these things are connecting, but they're not at all. It's just mad talk. Seriously.
This guy's a downer. This guy's a real quaalude. That guy was a real live walking quaalude.
Even the drugs you bring up haven't been around in 35 years.
Give me a Darvocet right now.
Joey, you're the new guy. You got to take her out on the town tonight.
All right.
Don't
Yeah.
do that to this little. I love my Joey. I'm Joey Butterfly. I'm Mary Jo.
Why are you
I take
doing
out
that?
Joey.
Why are you doing that? Gail, you getting a little bit afraid, or you don't know where it's going?
Just don't know where it's going.
No, it
I'm
doesn't
here
ever.
with you,
It
though,
doesn't ever
BL,
change.
no matter where it goes.
But why does she just keep going even for, she'll go too far and then she goes even further? There's no way to drag her back
I'm
in.
still curious about what happens with the panties in the bag.
Now, why would you bring up a reference that she was making up because she got lost? So if I see you texting during the show, it drives me nuts. What happens over there?
Just something for tomorrow.
Why do you do that during the show? We got to put you in the other room and Joey in here. Because you seem like you think this is a fucking office when I got a crazy lady running around here all day. Oh God, even the way she laughs, I saw dust come out. It's like there was a fucking explosion in a cave.
I can't say woo-see anymore because of blowhard. God, that guy hates my guts. I would turn him around in 3 seconds.
No, I don't think so.
That guy, that was somebody else. That had to be Spanish Johnny or somebody.
Oh my God, the references aren't. Mark in Colorado.
Yeah, I love BL. She sounds like a perfect woman to have fun with.
Well, you know what? I mean, if people are they're writing in, what is she like? If you've ever seen the show Walking Dead, BL could do that show without makeup. And I mean that in a nice way. You look like a TV star.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, that was nice. I hope you let that one stick.
I got somebody out west.
Here's John in Kansas.
Hey, Ron. I've never called it before, but I got to say I love BL. I think it's 20 years ago. So keep it up, BL.
Thanks, Kansas.
Thanks.
You just call him by words.
Yeah.
Like this
Cute little
is the old
nickname you
West.
made up for him.
Yeah. That's old Kansas over there. Back in the 60s, they used to put your panties in a paper bag and say, "Get on your way," while Janis Joplin music played. It's not even making fucking sense, and you were a fucking child in the 60s.
Click your heels,
You
girl.
were playing with a fucking Etch-a-Sketch during that time. You weren't fucking banging Mad Men one after another. Why do you make up shit about yourself?
It's
a
lie
minute
day.
ago, you were just saying that you were fucking gnawing a cock like you were a chipmunk. Why would you say stuff about that? Why would you bring that up?
You did say that.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
I'm sorry, Benny. That's the funniest line you ever had, that I sucked a penis like a corn cob.
You're just a corn cob. Seriously. If we were on a fucking plane, I'd yell, "Are we getting enough oxygen in here?" This woman is not getting enough oxygen to her brain.
You stay at some hotel. I'm down.
You're staying at the fucking Waldorf, honey.
No, why would you say? Why would you call me out?
Because there's 18,000 fucking UN guys staying there right now. Are you even aware that you're here for UN week?
I had no idea.
You're probably staying in the most dangerous hotel in America right now.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why the rates were so low and they took my points.
By the way, there's guys in there that could fucking rape you and get away with it because they have diplomatic immunity.
It's a right to rape, really.
It's a right to rape state. Hey, aren't you curious about what he was texting about? He's saying it's for tomorrow's show.
I am curious.
What do we got lined up for tomorrow? Something better than today?
Just something that I was working on.
BL's saying that she's staying here for a week, and you told me one day.
all week, bitches!
Yeah, and I told her one day. September 16th was the day. She asked for one day. September 16th was the date chosen.
Here's Murray in Florida.
Hey, what's up, guys? I love BL. She gives me that feeling like I'm on a roller coaster, just about to go down that hill. The whole time she's in there, like I have total angst right now. But I'd love to see a picture of her.
Well, yeah,
no picture.
She posed for it's the picture of Dorian Gray, and she that's literally her picture. Chris Stanley getting a literary reference. I'm very fucking proud of that one. You know what would be fun for BL? A night in Brooklyn, Gail. Just hanging out in Brooklyn. You take her around with the hipsters.
Yeah. You'd like to do that, BL?
Dude, Brooklyn's made a comeback a couple years back. You can get a penthouse there now. It's down about $3 million. Brooklyn is the city for white people now.
Jesus Christ.
I could live there if I worked at Cirrus.
First of all,
it'd take me about 6 hours to get to work.
Can I just bring this up to you?
Yeah.
You couldn't pass for white anyway.
Why not? I'm white.
Leather is not white, honey. I don't know what you think it is.
You mother effer. Oh, my.
I'm glad you said effer.
I would never disrespect.
That's nice.
That's just really rude. Look at even little baby Gail. Even baby Bangton's looking at me.
Why
like,
you never said Bangton before until Stanley did. Now you stole it.
He stole it from me. You know what?
Right.
It's lie day here. Stanley?
Yes.
Stanley said it first.
Yeah, that's mine. That's my fuck up that I own.
I was here when I was here my big week in July when I got 13,000 YouTube hits. I said Bangton first. It's on there.
You had never said it before then?
Crazy.
So you
You're
stole
making
that.
No, I didn't steal anything.
I brought this up before. Oh my God, this is awkward.
No, don't say she's here.
Oh my
don't
God,
bring her,
this
don't bring
is
her in.
awkward.
Oh God.
Jenny Hutt. Are you periscoping right now with BL? Is that what you're doing? Sit down. Look, let me see the.
Sit, please.
No.
I'm not taking your seat.
Jenny Hutt, you're an actual host. You sit down in her seat.
Oh, stop it.
She gets nothing.
Hi, Jen.
Hello.
There's enough microphones to go around.
I thought that these two would make a great show together before.
Yeah.
You
Makes
said
sense.
no, Jenny, and then BL cried.
I don't think BL really cried.
I'm telling you.
For
BL,
reals?
did you
like
cry?
Tears, like actual ones?
3-4 shows. I've been fourth time in New York, and Jenny just knows I'm from the wrong side. I'm just a white trash tramp.
I don't what?
She knows.
Like that?
I was born in a bad place.
Well, I'm not even understanding what any of that means.
Well,
why didn't you want her on your show? Why didn't you want?
I was happy to have her on my show. I don't have a co-host. I have my show is
Perfect.
just Jenny.
Yes. Just
So,
Jenny, though.
there
It
you
sounds like. I thought that's the other Jenny who says just Jenny.
No, my show is just Jenny.
What's
It's
the
just
other
a
Jenny's
show.
name?
Jenny McCarthy.
Isn't she just Jenny?
No.
Wasn't she just Jenny on TV or something?
No. No.
Who am I?
Maybe it's Jenny.
Oh, it's Jenny.
It's a little different, I think.
Yeah, I saw you periscoping a couple of times. I watched you and your daughter, who didn't want to periscope, were getting makeup somewhere.
Who knows?
And you're like, "Hey, this is my daughter." And her daughter's like, "Stop it."
How did
Get
you?
it.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Beddington Show still doesn't follow me, by the way, on Twitter, which honestly, Chris Stanley, I'm
What?
so over you about this. It's very upsetting.
It will get fixed today.
Yeah, that's what you say, and then
Come
it
on,
doesn't. It's
Chris.
like waiting for Guffman. It hurts my feelings. It
Look,
breaks my heart.
BL is standing in the corner now. She won't even go near the other mic.
Be on the mic.
There's
Why?
another mic for
There's
you.
a microphone right here.
What?
I don't understand what the issue is.
Now, BL, all you were asking one time, be honest about this.
Yes.
Did Jenny make you cry?
Just the idea of being in New York the first time, it's because the first time Jenny and I had an issue, and we've never had an issue.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any issues.
I respect her. I love Jenny, and I watched her I've watched her since way back. I've followed her career, and you had me on with her, and you said something, Benny. You said something I don't know. I think I said really trampy language, and then she came in and she just was like, "Oh God, I don't want that girl near me."
Never.
Okay,
I would
yeah,
have
you were
that
disgusted.
is so not
You were
how
disgusted by her.
No, it's
Well,
not how I
you
speak.
and your family legacy.
But remember, you said to me, Jenny, you go, "When would I have her on? Hard Tits Thursdays?" And I'm going,
yeah, that's what
You do have a hard tits Thursday,
You
though.
got your breast job before they had worked it out properly. It was early. Right,
This is just
BL?
nuts. Like, I would discriminate against somebody's whose boobs hardened.
No, they came in hard. She had it done with like a concrete thing.
I had to buy a Walgreens bra, Jenny.
It happens.
I forgot one. I'm
Yeah.
at the UN hotel.
Okay.
And
That's the unhotel.
By the way, Victoria's Secret's bras are practically disposable and like.
She could never afford.
No.
She never
Wow,
could
there's plenty of them. The
afford.
pink line is not expensive.
What is not expensive to you?
Oh, $30, $20.
That's what she eats on in a month.
Oh, stop it.
No joke.
Why? You don't think that there's poverty in this country?
I do believe there's poverty. I think there's a big problem with poverty.
You're saying at your 16th birthday.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
you
here
got to
we
bring
go.
that
Come
up.
on, tell
Why
the
do we have to
story.
go
Why
back
do you
to
gotta-
this
yeah.
now?
Please, Jenny, please tell me.
Did you see the video I recently posted from the U.S. Open 1987? It was like my first foray into television.
No, you were just you were 40
was
at the time?
17,
Okay.
and it's
17.
spectacular.
Yeah.
I am such a loser. It's awesome. Much has changed.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Why do you put these things up too that embarrass you?
Because I think it's just all. I think everybody has a history, and why not share it? It's fun. It
Yeah.
makes me laugh. It actually.
Now, did you hear
my
about the
kids
kid
like it.
who today? That's the
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah. Oh.
That said that he was in the towers on 9/11 and he wasn't. What's his name?
Steve Renazizi.
I didn't. I thought you were talking about the kid who got sent home from school or in trouble because of the.
He made a clock.
that he
Yeah.
made, and they
Kid made a clock.
he's
He was a
going to the
little
White House.
Arabic kid, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And they just assumed that he made a bomb. And he said, "No, it's a clock." And they're like, "Yeah, but it looks like a bomb." He's like, "It's a clock. I made it myself." And they showed a video of the kid talking about it, and you actually do feel so bad for him. And by the way, the only job in the future is engineering. So if there's any little boy but it is too close to 9/11 to let Arabs play with clocks, I
But
guess.
the president invited him to the White House now. He got an invitation
Why
from
does the
Zuckerberg and the president.
fucking president have to get involved in any popular culture
Right.
thing?
He's involved.
Yeah.
He's like, come bring your clock to the White
Yeah.
House, son.
He said cock to the White House? It's
Clock.
fucking terrible.
He did not say cock.
Oh.
Looks like somebody's on the down low. So you don't want BL to co-host with you?
It just seems like you guys would be just two peas in a pod.
Like a perfect match?
Yeah.
Like peas and carrots?
Yeah.
Her best friend is Rosie O'Donnell. She hangs out with the most elite people in the world.
The most elite.
And she's going to have a white trash hooker as a co-host.
You went down on
You're a
fucking
hooker?
Joe Walsh.
I didn't know you were a hooker.
No, I'm
I
not.
thought she just thought she was doing well.
Did she not just refer to
Samantha.
herself as a hooker?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I interviewed that madam years ago, Kristen Davis, not the actress, the madam, and she was quite lovely, and she was, I would argue,
Can I
like
just
top
say something?
dog of hookers.
I never see you as confident as you are around white trash. Normally you come
is
in
the
here
strangest thing I've
and
ever
you're
heard in my
very
whole life.
well. She's white trash and you're elite. But normally you come in and you're always like defense. But here you couldn't be more confident than you are today.
confident. I mean, I'm a fucking mess. I'm overtired.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? I have 2 teenagers. I don't sleep. I mean, that's like life.
Could I try to tell you how to
Sorry, they're
feel
3
better?
and 5. How?
Be a person and not a brand. Stop treating yourself as a brand. You don't need to do that. Okay.
That's my biggest
You're
failing.
constantly
my
trying to
biggest
brand.
failing is that I have no brand.
You're
so
trying to brand constantly. You
what
don't
am I
need
branding?
to. Exactly. Just stop and fucking chill. All right?
I can't.
I mean,
honestly, not all of us. Like, so you have respect upon respect. I mean, you are Bennington. You are a legend. You
Yeah,
are
true.
like
The
the
legend.
king of, like, you are Bennington. That's
Okay, but here's
it
the
is
thing.
defined for me. I have to hustle and scratch and.
But look,
Yeah.
you could always look back at people less fortunate, like this fucking dirt farmer just coming in here, scratching around like a goddamn chicken in a field. Look how much better your life is than hers.
I don't even know what you're saying.
And you look pretty.
This fucking girl looks at trailers and goes,
thanks.
someday.
Yeah.
What did you?
Someday.
Oh, Ron.
I was on your side when I said that.
I know. Doesn't, but you know what?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, Ron.
Who gets a gray wig for themselves?
I don't have a gray wig.
That's real?
Yes,
Oh,
I
God.
have the
Holy
thickest hair.
shit.
I have the thickest hair in the world. I
Thickest,
swear.
a mop is not hair, honey.
It's amazing.
It just needs to be contoured. which
What
means
colors
cut.
are they?
It's just it's a Florida thing. They put 5-6 colors in. They weave. It's called weaving.
It's highlighted
It's a
and
weave.
balayaged and.
My hairdresser he used to do my hair for a pack of cigarettes. He got bit by a snake in his garden.
He used to smoke.
So he did my hair chicken yellow, and it turned out great. Thanks for pointing it out to the audience, Ron.
It was chicken yellow.
So, what got you, Gail, when suddenly getting bit by a snake in the garden? Are you talking Garden of Eden?
Just finding out that he was snake bitten, I guess, was probably what did it for me.
No, the problem is that his hand went near the eggs, and when you go near a snake's eggs, you better look out, biatches.
This is Everglades Radio.
Yeah.
Is where I met her. She's down there.
I was your phone screener 6 years. You got guilt. You felt bad.
Bullshit.
I took good care of you, back in the
banged
years.
my fucking boss. You never were a phone screener.
Oh, come on, Ron.
You never
That was
were an
not a lo-
official phone screener. You were banging the boss while he was married to someone else.
That's very awkward.
Let's make Jimmy
For
very
who?
awkward.
I thought you wanted to bring in a truth bomb. Stop texting. You're
I was
not a
checking
brand.
if Bennington Show followed me on Twitter, and nope, not yet.
Well, he's still on the air right
Waiting
now.
for Guffman.
Jesus Christ, Jenny.
Hurts my feelings.
What's up next
Please
for Jenny
follow
Hutt?
her.
I'm going to watch the debates tonight after I give my kids some dinner.
Were you just making fun of his southern voice?
Nope, I'm just saying that's my day. It's not exciting.
What are you getting for dinner?
I'm not sure yet.
What do you have? Caviar?
Maybe.
Can't caviar.
That's the snack.
Yeah.
Eating
That
whole
is the
truffles
snack.
like
How
they're
did you know
apples.
that? It's so weird, Gail.
Oh, by the way, children, I met this white trash fucking Everglade hooker today.
How do I even get to the
interesting.
Poor thing. Poor little dear. She had a haircut like some 1968 mod grandma. What are you doing, BL?
How do I even get to Long Island? Does Jenny own half of it?
They don't let you out there, BL, because you had your nipples removed when you got the fucking concrete moved into your tits.
Poor Jenny has to sit through this. This is just horrible.
This is actually joyous.
This is the way I fucking met BL many years ago when I was doing the. I'm gonna like act out a whole scene for you.
Okay. So what happened?
First of all, Gail was 5 years old. All right. I was out. You had sunglasses on and you said, hey, I was with Lynn Austin, my friend. She was promoting her Playboy.
Here's what I saw.
1986.
Here's the way I remember it. It's your wife.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Forget it. Just rude.
One day he goes to me in the office. He goes, hey, is there a problem? I go, what do you mean? He goes, BL hasn't been on lately. I go, shut the fuck up, dude. I go, don't follow me down your fucking crazy, funhouse ride you're taking. Let's all ruin our lives one at a time. You drove him crazy, though, BL?
Crazy which aspect?
He said being with you was like just chopping up rails, he said.
You had him just wrapped around your finger, huh?
I've had
every man. No. Oh, every man, once they get that. They say, and I'm going to try to be as gentlemanly as I can.
Okay.
They call her ashtray pussy down in Florida, and I don't know exactly what it means.
Let me just say thank you for being a gentleman about it.
But it's intriguing. Just hearing that, like ashtray pussy, huh?
I'm in.
What is it?
Oh, Mr. Mark Norman stopping by.
Well, do we need to break first, or?
Yeah, we should break first.
We can't book all these people at the same time, Chris.
I know. It's
okay. I'm going to head back home to
Jenny,
get my kids.
what a pleasure. Let me know when you Periscope each time. I know there's 40 a day, so I can't always catch them.
Listen, when Bennington Show finally follows me on Twitter, you'll get the notifications.
Oh, hey, everybody. Listen, I'm just here at Fashion Week.
I'm at Jenny Hutt on Periscope and Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, God, fucking Flatheads.
My Instagram's just Jenny Hutt. There's my promoting now.
This is how much Flathead has been trying to tell me BL stories during the show. I've been missing it. And one of them, he even just tried to FaceTime.
Wow.
He needed expressions.
Wowza.
I will make sure that we give a follow to you, but you got to do something for me first.
What's that?
2 weeks with BL as your co-host, as your guest co-host.
Do it?
I think the chemistry is there.
It's amazing.
Listen,
bring it.
BL is welcome to call into the show. I will put her on the air. At this point in time, I don't even co-host.
That's good. All right,
That's too far.
Cowardly lion.
Oh, wait, that's her one impression she does. Go ahead.
Wait, let me hear the impression.
Let's do your cowardly lion impression.
Jenny.
That's her giving.
That's actually pretty good.
No, that's her giving the head.
Oh, okay.
Back to being a gentleman.
Yeah.
See, the slutty stuff is what keeps me the slut off the Hut. I'm telling you, that's what keeps me off her.
This is my impression
Slut
of BL.
and Hut. It's a good name.
Slut and Hut. Not bad.
It's pretty good. You're looking for branding.
Yeah, when you
I
think
don't
about
know.
it. Slut and Hut. I like it.
I'm going to do my impression of BL now, right?
Okay.
I do believe in cock. I do believe in cock. Look at her.
Thank you, Jenny, for acting like you would ever let me even call your show.
Of course you can.
What is the phone number in case someone does want to call?
888-947-8277.
Why don't you just go back to your life like fucking Brandy, waiting for fucking sailors to come in? And her name was BL. She's a fine girl.
Fine girl.
What a good wife
You
God.
be.
but your life.
But your vagina's an ashtray pussy. Well, she's dry and she's cracked down there like the moon. Fell in her underwear. We got a break. We'll be back with Mark Norman. Jenny Hutt, everybody, watch her. She periscopes. She does all kinds of great stuff. Tomorrow is what, Weight Loss Thursdays?
No, it's just Thursday.
Okay, Weight Loss Thursdays tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. And then you got a psychic on Friday.
Totally.
Yeah, it's so the shows are so good. She'll talk to your dead grandmother.
Yes.
Right back, Bennington. Very, very funny. Mark Norman is here today, performing at the Arlington Draft House in Arlington, Virginia. Great spot. Go to arlingtondrafthouse.com for tickets. Also, Dead Crow Comedy Room in Wilmington, North Carolina. Another great room. And, of course, this podcast, Tuesdays, with stories available on the iTunes. Mark Norman, welcome back, buddy.
Good to be back. Big fan.
You look exhausted, and you said to me there's a problem in your personal life.
I got a rodentia dilemma. This thing's crawling right by my bed. I got a mouse in the house. It's killing me.
Now, here's the thing. If you had a cat or a dog, it would be adorable if it ran around during the night.
Sure.
Why do people act like a mouse is such a... It's not a rat, right?
No, but I'll
It's
tell you,
a mouse.
It's one word.
Yeah.
Scurry.
Okay, they scurry.
The sound of
The scurry, the ee, and they're so quick. I see it, and then it's like a blur across my floor.
Right.
I'm on the bed in my nightie, I'm holding a candle. I got a nightcap that's limp. It's brutal. I'm dying.
No, but it isn't really different than a hamster. And a person could own a hamster. It's not different than a gerbil.
Yeah.
It can't hurt you. It doesn't. It's just a pet. You have a pet that comes and goes as it pleases. That's all.
You know what it is? It's a size thing, and I think it's the same with genitalia for men. You don't want an animal to be too small, and you don't want a lion, and you don't want a mouse. But a dog is right in that gooey middle,
So you're saying a man doesn't want too big of a penis or too small of a penis. You want to be in that middle 90%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not the 5% on either side.
No.
I've never heard people bring that up with mice before.
No.
But it's an interesting thought.
Just hit me. Write that down.
Yeah, write this down.
Pull that.
It's going to be a special.
Yeah.
I like animals the way I want my penis to be.
Yes.
Now, that
normal
is-
size.
Yeah, it's an interest. See, I think, and I'm going to warn you of this because you've never had mice before.
Please.
When you get a trap, you think you'll just find a dead mouse that you find out. But what happens is you hear a snap and you hear a scream, a little eking scream that goes on for a long time. And it's terrible. And the nice traps that are... they don't work.
They don't.
Traps.
No, they don't work. No, glue trap is
No, that's the worst
even
thing you
worse.
can do.
I used to have a lot of mice in the apartment, and then I found a mouse in a glue trap, but it was like only part of it on, so it was crawling with the glue trap. So I didn't know what to do.
That's horrible.
So I sprayed it with a roach disinfectant to see if it would
Nice.
kill it. I drenched it.
God.
Kill it?
It didn't kill it. No,
Yeah.
it's still.
That's horrifying.
It kept bugs from biting it.
Oh my
Jeez, you occupy
God.
Wall Street at it.
This is horrible.
Just maced him in the face.
I actually saw a mouse in my apartment for the first time since I moved there. I never have seen one before. Saw one a few nights ago. For whatever weird reason.
You're leaving food all over the place.
Well, I like to have a little snack, and that's my business. But my dog, who has chased mice when she sees them on a walk, if she sees a rodent, if she sees a squirrel, she wants to chase them. She knows that this mouse is there and is not reacting to it.
She's friends
so
with
I feel like I just have to let it be.
This is a cat?
No, my dog.
Oh, your dog.
My
Sorry.
dog, I think, has some sort of understanding with this mouse. And so I was thinking of doing the humane trap, but now I think I'm just going to
see what happens.
Just see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she normally chases a mouse, but it
Here's
ran
what I
across
think.
the floor. She picked up her head. She
If
looked at
there's
it.
Other mice, they might start and dress you in the morning like
God, I
Cinderella.
hope so. Do my hair for me. This is my dream. This is my childhood dream.
Cinderella.
It's really a great song.
Yeah.
When we watch cartoons, we like the mice most of all. There's never
true. Mickey
bad-
Mouse.
We love the mouse. We're always on the mouse's side. We're against the cat. But in real life, we do now. It's people in the city get mice, people in the country get mice, people in the suburb get mice. You get mice.
Yeah.
The mice are here.
They're here to
They're
stay.
part of this, yeah.
They don't bother me as much as they bother most people. I'm okay with them.
He can't sleep.
I can't. I feel like I'm a crackhead at night. I'm like, I'm having like Nam flashbacks. I can't. I'm sweating. It's brutal.
But if you look at the face of a mouse, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's like a teeny.
But here's also the thing that
mammal,
happens.
so it's
once you see mice, you'll start to see them whether they're there or not. You'll
Yes,
like, what?
exactly.
Something went by here.
Right.
Did something quietly go by.
I'm definitely like that with bugs. Like if a bug touches me, there's bugs all over me for like a week.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like everything feels that way. So a mouse could definitely. You start to see the phantom blur.
But
it's a blur. Is that it?
People always say that, though. They always go, well, they're so cute, but Asian babies are cute. But if you woke up with one on your desk, that would be fucking terrifying. You know?
I probably would put it on my glue trap. I don't know how, like, if you just said to your friends, I can't get rid of these Asian babies.
Yeah, you got to put some rice down.
Everywhere.
Got to put some duck sauce on a trap.
It's crawling over.
Yeah.
That's it. Take it, baby. Yeah. Put your tongue right there.
And then when you catch it, you hit a gong.
Oh, see.
Went too far.
Yeah,
Damn it.
the gong did it.
I love a gong.
I mean, I was worried about duck sauce, but I saw everybody else laughing.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I'm going to stay here for a while.
Safe.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
like,
gonna go
gong,
out.
I know is wrong.
Yeah. Now, what have you been doing on your podcast lately? I know
Yeah, me and Joe List do our pod, and we have guests on it. We try to replicate a diner hang with comedians at 5 in the morning, and everybody comes on, and we talk about road stories and women we've bedded and drugs we've done and booze and crazy nights and fights, and so
it really is just comics that can't sleep, whether it's because of their own addictions or mice problems.
Yes,
because Joe's been very honest about getting clean. And by the way, this is the thing, so you never know. Joe doesn't seem like an addictive personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't.
Me, you could say, oh, that dude's definitely addictive personality.
But he doesn't come off that way, you're right.
No, he doesn't come off that way at all.
but he's got it, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first met him, he was a booze bag.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like to drink too. I'm hungover right now.
Right.
But he was like, he would call me at noon and be like, the sun's out, baby. The sun's shining. We got to get some suds in us. Ah! Woo, 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 woo. And I was like, Jesus, I'm just waking up. He had that, those alcoholic mood swings.
Yeah.
And then you hang out with him for 2 hours, like, what are we doing, man? This isn't how to live. There's no way to live. And you're like, you were on cloud 9 4 seconds ago. Now you're in the gutter.
You called me.
Yes.
And now you're crying that your life is
kind of life is
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, one bad set, and he was, oof.
Has anyone ever admitted something to you when they were drunk that they wouldn't ever say at any other time? Because I've had it happen to me before.
Yeah, I've admitted things. I'm usually that guy.
Oh, you're the guy that'll go for it.
I'm the admitter. Like, come on, which cousin would you have sex with? Yeah.
A guy admitted to me that he got raped in prison while we were partying, right?
Wow.
And I was just like, well, this is fucking... And I was like...
Holy moly.
And I was literally like, don't worry about it, dude. It happened. You're over it, But then I see him again. He's just like this when he sees me. Like, he's,
Right.
like I saw that dude knows.
Wow.
Right. He
Look
had-
on his face. BL knows this person, too.
David Tell?
David Tell would have done a special
That's
about
true.
it.
That's true. Although he's not really a personal comic. But
No
yeah.
one knows.
Yeah.
I always am a big fan. Who's this princess that's walking by?
This is, I believe, the new Miss America.
Miss America.
Oh, that's new Miss America.
Yeah.
Georgia Betty.
Yeah. And by the way, when I tried, that was RuPaul who walked by.
No,
earlier.
it
Like
wasn't.
caboose
Yeah,
on that one.
Well, yeah, it's a caboose. So did she already walk back around, Miss America? See, to me, when Vanessa Williams coming back was bigger
Yeah.
than any story. Yeah. This is all before your time. It was like 84 or something when Vanessa was, and they had a picture of her showed up. But one of the questions that they asked Miss America, because there was lesbian pictures or, just porn pictures at that time.
Right.
And it was the 80s. It was really a different time. right? Where people would still get freaked out about that. Like, Boy George didn't act like he was gay. He's like, I just dress this way. But they said during her Miss America thing, they asked this slut, they said, you have a really clean vagina. And Vanessa Williams said, but I have a woman who comes in and does it twice a week. And that was the joke that went around in 1984 that we all loved.
That's great.
We all loved that joke. Yeah.
And for a Miss America to be funny.
Yes.
That's rare.
Exactly.
know.
That's her talent, her special talent.
Right. It's usually some ditz who can do like a hula hoop or something.
Right. They're always somebody that it just seems like they've been kept under a cake dish by their family. You know what I mean? Like they're just untouched by the world.
Yes.
So they can be beautiful but have zero sexuality. You know what I mean? There's nothing sexual about them.
Right.
I didn't see much of this Miss America, but I saw some clips.
Yeah.
And I was really interested. I don't know when it happened, but I noticed that the walk is different. Like they used to do this very poised walk and it was a little bit stiff and they kind of had this thing. But when they were doing maybe the swimsuit or something, they were walking out and they had this little bop and they all did it and they were kind of swaying their hips. It was a little sexed up a little. And I remember before it seemed
wow, that's interesting.
But it wasn't it wasn't overly sexual, but it's just a little bit looser than the Miss America pageant of my
times
youth.
have changed.
Right.
Which was very Barbie dollish.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about women is you guys fucking compete. So I think if one chick's bringing the bop, now I got a bop.
Right.
We're all bopping.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing
they
now.
say, NFL is a stealing league. I think Miss America is the same way. Here's a thing that I noticed in physicality that's changed. There's a country band, I think they're called Florida to Georgia Borderline or something like that.
Yeah, that's Florida Georgia borderline.
All right, something like that. There's something like that. So I see them the other day, and they're doing the Good Morning America program, and there's a lot of people, and they're country stars, but their bodies were down, and they were doing a hip hop movement.
Really?
So when they were singing, it was all down here, and I'm like, that never existed.
Yeah,
in
that was
country.
not a country thing to do.
They kind of rap too. I've heard it. These guys are huge. Apparently, they're
they're
gigantic.
very, very big. My nephew is a big fan because he's a wrestling fan, and they were on there.
Florida Georgia Line. That's the name of the band.
You said borderline.
Yeah, it was line.
Borderline.
It should be borderline.
Yeah, hip hop culture it's everywhere. It's coming in everything.
Yeah.
You can hear, slang from old people and Weird Whitey is saying "bay" and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of cringeworthy to me.
But that's how the world exists. At one point, it's a couple of black kids in Harlem, and within 3 years, it's housewives in Iowa. It just kind of moves its way around.
You remember, bling used to be something that rappers said
And now
for
it's a
real,
thing.
and now it's something that housewives say.
Exactly.
Look at my bling, everybody.
Right.
Got the bling bling.
Yeah, still kills me.
Still hurts.
Yeah.
Don't like it at all.
Well, I grew up in a black neighborhood, which is why I'm so not black. Because I'm I got it. I feel like a lot of the people who talk black or act black weren't around a lot of black people.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to, I don't know, overcompensate, or it's a novelty. Listen to this cute phrase I learned, But I'm I got enough. I'm good.
Got it all.
That sounds bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What part of the country did you grow up?
I grew up in New Orleans, Tremay.
Well, now that is the new hipster capital. That's where
I know.
all the kids are going to New Orleans now.
Right. And they're souping it up. I mean, New Orleans was run down. It was ugly, not to mention Katrina. And now there's all these cool spots that are getting a little paint job, and now they're selling PBR, and people are walking their dogs and shit.
We're years away from everybody saying, "Oh, it's been ruined by corporations," because that's the next move that happens.
Yeah,
that suddenly you go down there and there's just a Fridays and shit.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Right.
Yeah. So you get a very short period to enjoy this scene
where it still has some culture left, but something else bringing out.
But New Orleans is the perfect way to look at it, because most of the stuff that white people adapted in terms of popular culture, black people did first. Jazz was all black. Now it's a very white thing, as blues was all black. now it's a very white thing. Rock and roll, early R&B was black. We move on. Hip hop will eventually just be white kids.
Probably,
there won't be black kids doing it at all. That's what just happens. You know, zoot suits, black kids were wearing them, and then white kids started wearing. And it's this weird thing that's been around forever.
I think it goes both ways though. Like white people always get the you steal everything accusation, but like when I was a kid, I was a skateboarder.
Right.
And black kids would be like, look at these fucking, you know, fags or whatever they would call us. And now in New York, I see a lot of black kids skateboarding.
It's crazy, right?
It goes both ways.
It's a huge flip that happened.
Huge flip.
When I was a kid, it was just white kids. It was like white kids with dyed hair, like bleached hair, and like they were kind
Chain
of like,
wallets and
like
weird haircuts.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now it's flipped.
And now it's very.
You see like Kanye with a bow tie.
Right.
Or horn rimmed glasses. That's all white shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can take credit for Larry Wilmore. I think we can look at Larry Wilmore and go, by the way, though, he was just in here the other day. He's so funny and so cool. And
He's a very cool guy.
He's a very smooth, confident guy.
Very smart.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, you should take that to your show, dude. Oh, it just got picked up the second year.
That's right.
It just got picked up. All right, so here's another thing, too, that I don't remember black people doing that they do now. Motorcycles, when I was younger, was purely white people.
Why? That was biker.
Yeah, that was biker. Although you don't see black people riding Harleys.
That's true.
They ride those Japanese
Rice Rockets.
And they're always like popping wheelies and doing cool stuff on them.
Oh, yeah.
Something else I feel like black people got from white people is indoor plumbing. You know, there was a time...
Wi-Fi. That's another one.
Wi-Fi. What is for a while, only black people were at MySpace.
Yeah.
But I think they're very big Twitter people now.
It's huge. Black people love Twitter.
Really?
Really big, yeah. They like tweet the most or something. They actually like looked at like tweeting, and it's like black people really tweet more than white people.
They tweet. It's very funny. World Star comments are the only comments
amazing.
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
ever read.
It's the best section
and I
ever.
Seriously, I've been wiping tears out of my eyes.
Yeah. Fucking great.
Sometimes. All right, here's Patrick wants to talk about New Orleans a little bit.
All right.
Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, so you guys talk about how it's a couple years away from, being all corporate down there.
Yeah.
But the French Quarter kind of, it was funny, is that they kind of already did that. Like in the 90s when Times Square went all corporate.
Yeah.
In the French Quarter, they went from, bar, strip joint, bar, live orgy, strip joint. They went to, now strip joints are Scores and all the big names.
Right.
So that's how they went corporate. They went corporate with the strip clubs.
So the bigger money, not local titty bar owners.
They have a Scores down there. They have a Hustlers Club down there. But it was funny. It was that, I'm thinking about, Disney went into Times Square. But
No, you're right, though. The last time I was, there was a Scores and a Hustler.
Yeah.
In French Quarter. But the French Quarter is like Times Square. The locals never go there, right?
I mean, the locals do live there.
Yeah.
My parents lived in the Quarter for a while.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of celebrities now, and it's a lot of like super rich people. And then there's still some locals, still some weirdos, but it's not like it used to be. It's like the East Village, kind of.
Right.
You know how that changed? But there's still pockets of like, oh, look at that weird guy with the tattoos, But it's kind of slipping away.
New Orleans has never had a famous comedy club either, I don't think.
Never.
Right?
They don't work there. It's a booze town. It's a jazz town.
Yeah.
People want to drink and they don't want to listen. They don't want to think. They just want to check out.
It is like, as much as you think you may not like jazz, when you go to New Orleans, you do like jazz.
You love it. It's coming out of every bar. It's in the streets.
Yeah, and after a while, you're like, man, I'm going to listen to a lot more jazz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That thing, I think his name is a Trombone Shorty. Is that guy? I saw him with on the Dave Grohl thing, and if you would have said, "Oh, are you interested in listening to trombone music?" I'm like, "No."
Right.
And it was seconds into watching this dude where I'm like, I got to pick up all the Trombone Shorty stuff that there is.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a Soul Rebels. That's another band. It's a brass band, and the instruments look like the band you would see at like a school football game.
Right.
But they make it so fun and it's so great. It's hilarious and they're funny and they really act it out on stage. They bring the heat.
Well, our friends Kathleen and Bri, they go to New Orleans as much as they can, and that's because their public drunkenness is accepted there,
Yes.
where it's not in other places.
It's a ticket.
No one will ever say, well, look at him, that's disgraceful. They're
Right.
just like, look, he's in the spirit of this. He's making it happen.
Having a great night.
Only city can drink outside. Open container is not a thing there.
What is the what was the big story we were talking about with this 9/11 thing? I don't want to see if
Steve Renazizi.
Do you know this guy and his 9/11 story is blown up for him?
Yeah, he's a comic, funny guy. He's on that
Yeah.
show, The League.
Right.
And apparently he had a 9/11 story that he escaped.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a lie. I don't know how they caught him, though. Did he just confess?
I think the New York Times put the story
Yeah,
out,
it was
right?
the Times who released it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like we said, you know, I just hate being part of a dog pile like that and being acting like, oh, someone's career should be over, he should be shunned. I don't want to ever look like I have like a belt buckle on my hat. You know what I mean? Just one of those people who are always ready to burn a witch.
Yes. Right. They're looking for it now.
Yes, it happens all the time now.
It sucks. So you get hired to do The Daily Show. They found a tweet from Trevor Noah from 6 years ago.
Right.
6. Let the man have a job.
Yeah. 6 years ago, when he said something like, if you ever look at something, there's always a Jewish guy. But I mean, normally, it was the type of thing that anybody would say. So when people go, hey, don't act like Jews run agencies, I'm like, I've never done anything but this in my life. And if I had anybody but a Jew, I'd be crazy.
Right, yeah, exactly. Also,
I must not be doing well for myself.
My thing is, if you're offended by something, that means it's probably true.
Right.
You know? So, like, go deal with that shit.
Yeah.
You know, just because I pointed it out, I'm not the bad guy.
Right. But if you did say stuff like, oh, the Irish, they kill a lot of elephants and steal their ivory, everybody would just like,
be like, what?
No,
What are you talking about?
But if you say they're drunk all the time, they start crying when they talk about their moms.
Right.
And they're like, hey.
Why'd you say that?
Hey.
The fuck?
And it's like, I'm only saying it because I've seen it. You know, I'm not saying trying to be
I think it's
mean.
true.
I'm just saying what I saw. I never got that. Yeah, like Colin Quinn has that great joke where he's like, so this Mexican guy, and somebody goes, hey, 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 and he's like, how dare you say that guy's real race in this true story? Just saying what happened. But that's the thing, people just hear a race now and they jump on you.
Yeah.
I told a story recently at a show about a friend of mine who's a black guy, and somebody actually yelled out, hey, why does he have to be black? I'm like, well, mostly his fucking parents. You're the one making it a thing.
Right.
Like, you're just trying to get me in trouble for no reason. You
Yeah.
don't really give a shit. It's crazy. It's just a fad now.
But, you know, it always is funny, too, because I remember hearing, you know, growing up, references to color that didn't, you know what I mean? Like, when somebody would say, there's this funny color guy at work. And you're like, really?
That wasn't necessary, yeah.
It didn't get called into it.
Right,
But a lot of
Was
times,
not
like,
integral to the story.
and like, when I was younger, people would, like, try to point out that they knew someone who's black who they liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
That's a big one.
And now, is that like even almost like a reverse racism? I mean, now, again, the gay thing has bypassed We Don't Care, but you do want a trans friend. I think these are the days.
That's the
very
new one.
important.
Yeah, my
It's
friend
essential.
is transitioning right now.
Right. Yeah. It's always weird when people are weird around gays still. I met a guy, this was a weird one, because he had a friend who was gay, and he introduced me. He goes, this is my friend Bob. He's gay. Good guy, though. Which I was like, what? That's the weirdest disclaimer ever.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah.
But he was his friend. I was like, that's you introduced me. And then I was, I could see if you were like, this guy wears Crocs. Good guy, though.
Right.
You know? But gay. They're not even known for being bad guys.
Yeah, I don't. Here she comes. Here she comes, Miss America.
Oh, wow.
the
She's a
beauty.
beanpole, huh?
Yeah, she's not a. She's keeping it light.
Yeah, I like a little more curve.
This is why you'd make a great judge.
Yeah. Keep eating, bitch.
Where's that ass I'm looking for?
Yeah.
It's the truth of those
Yeah.
contests.
What's that?
Well, that's as simple as it is. Like,
Right.
they throw in those talent and like that's just made up.
Yeah, that's like the porn story.
Right.
Right, exactly.
We don't need it.
Yeah, I used to host Naughty Nighty contests in Florida, and those I think were pretty up where everyone knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Particularly when we were like, let's spray them down, everybody. Yeah.
Too hard to tell with how dry they are.
I'm surprised the feminists haven't ruined, because I'm a feminist too, but I'm surprised they haven't ruined the Miss America. That seems right up their alley. Like, this is chauvinist and they're subjecting women, they're objectifying or whatever the hell it is, you know?
Well,
I think most feminists would probably say if that's what you want to do with yourself.
And that show, I think, is only watched by women. I
That's
don't
true.
think any men
That's a good
have
point.
ever said, I saw the hottest woman. Like
Women
even,
over like 50 too. Like
Right.
it's always older
yeah,
women
definitely.
who are there like, gotta watch it.
But just like Mark's saying, she's a little thin for me. You would think that once we found Miss America, she would be absolutely perfect to all men.
Right.
That there wouldn't be a man in America. I mean, it's the way we look at, let's say, when you saw Shaq, you're like, perfect center. You know what I mean? He's the guy I want in the paint. No one's going, isn't there anyone taller than Shaq?
Exactly.
I prefer a little more curve in my center.
Not going to work that way. So she's Miss America now. Apparently, BL, come back over. You said she said something stupid about Tom Brady.
No. What's? I don't have anything in front of me, but all I know is Miss America's getting a lot. She's just torn everywhere because it was something she was asked a question about the entire Brady suspension. Is that right?
The Deflategate that never happened.
That's what they said. Exactly. It was a real quick question.
Yeah.
And she didn't answer it correctly. She didn't even have a clue. She just doesn't watch football, and I felt that was a bit
Now,
unfair.
is she the one who said I'd have to squeeze his ball in order to say it? There was a girl who said that.
That's fucking funny, though.
But it wasn't. I don't think that it was like got a laugh. I think that she said it and kind of stumbled into it. But I don't know if that's her. I know one of the girls said I'd have to squeeze his ball or something in order to decide.
I like the idea of this. Of now, Miss America has to do 5 minutes. We're not saying she's an hour.
I like that.
5 minutes of original material.
Oh, that would be so
Has
bad.
any of them ever done that for the
I don't
talent
think so.
portion?
Well, I came up.
That would be amazing.
I said like beauty pageant roast battle, where
That's great.
It seems to be the hottest thing right now.
Yeah.
It seems to be the hottest thing.
I like that.
But the fact that she would have given a sarcastic answer, that would make her a hero in my book.
But look at what in the past, y'all. Look at what happens when they try to be intelligent.
Who tried to be intelligent?
Miss America, when they try, you feel my pain, don't you?
Sure, it's never pretty.
Yeah.
It's always like world peace is hurting us. We need hunger.
If all the countries could just merge together, and I would really feel really great about it, and whatever.
Right.
And I'm
Well, what's
looking to
wrong with that, Sarah? That
pursue
is nice.
a career in
Yeah.
making sure we make babies like Brad and Angie.
Oh,
or
you're not even making
fly on head
sense. I
babies.
mean, you're
whatever
seriously
it's
talking
called.
crazy. You're wearing seriously. You came over here in a Paul Revere and a Raiders shirt, and it looks like It looks like we're on Hullabaloo in 1966.
It's Fashion Week in New York City.
Well, yeah.
I'm staying at the United Nations building, buddy.
Wow. Quit bragging.
Allegedly.
Staying there. No one stays there.
This is your time, sweetheart. This
Oh,
is
no.
my time.
It's
I'm
good
just
to
a
see
piece of white trash from South Florida.
Oh, wow. That's all they make down there, isn't it?
Not much else.
But I do.
Their main export.
You can just say from Florida.
We got it.
Yeah.
We know where you're going. Like when you brought up the mice in your house, I heard her in the corner go like this, "Them's good eating." And I'm like, come on, BL.
I have a feeling that this may be a rat situation for this gentleman.
No, you wouldn't know a rat if you
the
saw one.
rats are like
it was
10
little.
times the size.
The rats are in the subways and you'll fucking scream.
Oh, yeah.
You'd move out if you saw a rat in your house.
Honestly, I
You
don't
would
know
move.
if a rat could fit in my apartment. That's how small it is.
What do you pay for something like that, bud?
I live in the West Village, so I'm paying out of the nose here.
Is it under $3,000?
Well, I have a roommate.
You don't mind if I ask, do you? Is this
Why?
uncomfortable for
No,
you?
it's
Why
fine. I
wouldn't
don't,
you ask?
I
I'm
don't
skinny.
mind.
I'm not
Yeah.
his type, so it doesn't matter how much you pay in the
Not
French
his
village.
type.
In the French
You're-
village.
You're too old for his dad, BL.
Doesn't matter. I'll take his great grandpa, whatever.
All right.
God
well,
bless him if
let's
he's still here with us.
We'll dig him up.
Oh, honey.
I mean,
No,
it's
seriously,
fine.
how much? So are you at a
BL,
comfortable
BL,
under
that's
3 Gs?
About 3, yeah.
Right at
3.
Enough for me to have a twin bed and 1 suitcase?
If you don't mind mice. What are you moving in? I'm confused.
I've got a little tail that wags at times.
Well,
how much do you seriously?
right.
How much do you charge the haunted apartment? What would it be with Halloween coming up?
Yeah,
just
like
let you jump out at the fucking kids.
I've had too many erections lately. I need your help to get rid of them.
Deflate.
Right.
I'm sorry, I have no ass. They're buying me an ass. Serious ass XM is going to buy me an ass.
Nice.
Let's give me a Kardashian.
It's Mark's time.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, this is fun.
Mark, you married, bud?
Are you sure?
No.
I mean, she's in here. She's fucking. She just. Everything was going great with you.
It was going really good.
Yeah.
Where are you at, Mark? Where can we see you? What do you got coming up?
You can do his plugs for.
That's a good idea.
That'll be your
there you go. Oh no, I don't have my peepers on. I can't plug.
Why can't you say?
Well, I'm just.
Go get your fucking goggles right now.
Mind? Yeah. Fill some time.
Yeah, okay.
We'll just fill for you.
Go get your bifocals, Grandma.
All right, I've never actually seen someone on bath salts. This is a first.
There's a word she didn't understand that you used that was bath.
Oh boy, she's more of a hose down kind of gal. All right,
yeah,
there you go.
Go ahead, Swamp Moss. Let's go.
The cutest little woosy. All right, of course we're with Mark Norman, and Mark's performing at the Arlington Draft House in Arlington, Virginia, Friday on October 2nd. Go to www.arlingtondrafthouse.com for tickets. Mark's also performing at the Dead Crow Comedy Room. It's in Wilmington, North Carolina on October 16th and 17th. Mark can do his podcast anytime he wants right on my crotch on Tuesdays with stories, which is available on iTunes. And also, of course, you can go to Twitter at Mark Norm.
What? You put on glasses and it dulled you up a lot. You became like a librarian.
Well, you cover up my face.
Yeah.
You got to
lean backwards here.
You cover the head.
Oh, my God, look at those glasses because the eyes get enormous.
Very
you want
hot.
me to stare up? You want these blue eyes over your hip bones, Benny?
What's that mean? What did
Staring right up.
What did that even mean? Did it mean anything?
It means I'm not going to explain the joke, Benny. You always taught me that 29 years ago.
20 times in 29 years.
I used to answer his phone
You never
years
did.
ago.
She used to blow my the general manager
Oh,
of my
nice.
station.
Ron gave me my start.
Yeah.
That's how I wound up here with you, Mark Norman.
Oh, sweet.
We used to basically, there were people that we either would call prize pigs or van whores. They would always show up wherever, back in the rock radio days, that whenever the van would pull up anywhere, there'd be like show business, just the skankiest skanks would come running out, oh, look, show business is here, because it was the radio van.
Right.
Really impressive.
Wow.
Did have a logo.
Yeah, it had a logo on it.
Holy
It was
shit, the bookmobile's here. Drop panties.
Yeah,
Hurt my feelings.
that was BL. But you got to bang a couple celebs
I did not.
out of it.
Who are
No,
we talking?
I answered
Walsh.
the
She
phone.
fucked Joe Walsh.
Whoa,
I
that's
did
a
not
score.
sleep
Yeah.
with Joe Walsh.
I
You
can't
should.
believe it.
What are you crazy? You should run with that.
The analog man.
I had to babysit him 2 weeks back in '92 before the Eagles put him into rehab.
Bullshit. You fucked him when he was writing Funk 49. You go back that far.
He asked me to have his baby.
Wow.
He did. I said no. I was in
You
love
couldn't,
and
right?
I was
Big mistake.
love sick, but we'll move on from that. But yeah, Benny.
By the
doesn't
way,
admit
I
it.
just want to point this out during her plug. She's the last person to use www
Oh, right.
on the planet.
I read
Yeah.
it the way it's typed. So
You think
some
people are-
asswad typed it wrong.
Do you think people are typing it at home? www.
I know.
You can find her on the AOL chat room.
It's weird because Ron taught me. He really did teach me. It's got to move out of your ears and out of your mouth at the same time.
But that doesn't make sense.
that what
I would,
you- is
why
that
would
your
I
lesson?
say it's got to move out of your ears and out of your mouth?
I
at
wish
the
you
same
would have
time?
told me that years ago.
Back in the day, if someone's talking in your headset and you would say, BL, you're going to go into rhymes with Baymart and go into I would do bits. So I'd go out on the street and he'd say, BL.
You weren't even on the air. We just got you to leave the fucking studio, BL.
Yes. You made me go into Kmart and made guys go back and whack off, pardon my language, with me in the canoe section.
No.
It was horrible.
Now, here's the...
You made me run through the
All right, just stop for a second.
Walgreens and
it's
say my crotch was burning.
No,
Oh,
here's
boy.
the deal. These were shock jock days, but this is so bad that I don't even remember this bit. of making guys go in and jack off on her in a fucking Walmart.
It doesn't sound like a bit so much as prostitution.
How burnt out is my fucking brain that I wouldn't even recall that. Like, I guess so.
Do you think it's true, this bit?
I don't know. There's no way to know anymore.
Well, we've got 9/11 Day. It started off all lies with this guy.
So you're lying?
No, I'm saying it's lie day accidentally. I'm not lying.
But why would you bring up that it's a lie? I don't remember the bit.
The worst bit you ever made me do, or you didn't make me. I did it on my own. You weren't. I don't remember. You just would you'd say, "I can't take BL in the studio today." Hey, BL. Buccaneers need a new stadium. You're going to go out with a shovel and start digging.
I swear I don't remember this either.
I had to jump over a chain link fence, went over, got over there with a shovel, kept my flip phone open, and Ronnie was feeding me everything through my headsets, and he's like, "You better do it. Get this done. We need it." And we went live with it, and I had cops on me, everything. I had a guy ready to put his nightstick on my neck, and I love the popo.
But
they just said, "Miss, stop digging now."
Would you stop for a second? How is it a bit for me to tell someone to go dig a hole? How does that even happen? Why would we bring in people from all over?
That's a great radio bit, digging.
Yeah. It's because they wouldn't build the stadium, and they wanted to charge the city a penny a person. And there's 3 million people in Tampa Bay. So Ron said, "BL, we're going to go dig the hole ourselves. Let's start this stadium." So you wanted to get the party, and you did it. The stadium started getting built.
So that's how it got started. You did it, huh?
You, Benny. You don't even know it.
Stadium.
Yeah.
This is horrifying to hear this in front of you. These
so
stories
good.
that she's telling is terrible.
Ron wound up on the cover of People with Don Johnson. I had to answer the phones and deal with Don Johnson.
You don't remember when I was at Miami Vice? I was the black guy. I was the black guy. What was his name?
Tibbs.
Tibbs. That's fucking racist. His name wasn't Tibbs.
Was it Sonny? I don't know.
You said Tibbs so confidently. I believed you.
I think it was Tibbs.
It was.
I think it was Tibbs. Or Tubbs.
There you go.
Yes.
Tubbs. Which is more fitting for Ron.
Everything turned bad here.
Damn it.
Everything turned bad here. We were having so much fun.
We were having so much fun with this.
Yeah. I hope that rat just chews your fucking cock off.
It might.
Now, here's the thing, though, BL. How could she remember these things that I have no recollection of at all, and it was my show?
Well, Don Johnson, you said to me, you had a talk with me. You said, BL, I'll never, ever let you come back to work if you don't handle this. Because Don Johnson was big.
Why
Him and
would
Melanie
I
were getting a
fucking
divorce.
ask you to fucking handle it? You had nothing to do with it.
Because I was running the phones, and you said, he's calling on the hotline. It was back in the 90s when everything was really super
Like when
pumped. And you said, BL, make this happen. It can't go wrong. It's like before when I announced Nixon was dead to you in your headsets and you went on with it and he wasn't dead. He was still on the ventilator. I was a bad phone screener, but I learned everything from you, Ron.
So that made you bad.
It's bad. Anyway, real quick, the Don Johnson, you said...
No, there isn't any real quick. This is Mark Norman's time.
I know.
This is not a time for you to come in and talk about the fucking past.
Bye, buddy.
We have a professional comedian here.
I know.
All right.
If you need somebody to announce you coming out on your gig when you're at www.deadcrowcomedy.com.
Yeah, why don't you come? Well, why don't you drive down there now and he'll meet you. He'll meet you there.
Bring your shovel.
It's great to meet you, though.
Dig a hole. It's great to meet you.
I mean, I don't know.
See, he just put my panties in a brown bag like it's the 1960s.
Yeah.
Well,
You know how that went.
Is it a good thing?
Let me tell you, if we put your panties in a brown bag, we'd never be able to find them in there because anything that you're wearing is going to end up brown.
I don't know why, but Mark looked so confused when she said that he put her panties in a brown bag.
Every time I
You
put
didn't
my-
understand that reference?
Whenever I put my underwear in a brown bag, it's because of an accident.
B.O., are you going to stay in the room or just leave?
You told me to leave.
All right, we'll see you later.
Mark Norman's time.
Bye-bye.
Oh, boy.
There she goes. What do you...
I'm not leaving.
No, we'll because I got to wrap up with him, but yeah.
I'm gone from New York City too?
Yeah.
Or do I come back tomorrow?
No, you're done. Thank you,
I
BL.
won't
Thanks
come
for being
back.
here.
No.
Thanks for being here. It's
Thanks,
Mark.
BL.
Thank you. So good
I wanted to
see
have you on more, but it's Mark's time. He's a big comedy star, and he's on his way, and it's great. So take care, BL.
No. I'm going to stay right here and listen to the show.
No, listen from over there. You can listen next to Joe.
Go to the booth.
Joe will be happy to have you.
Joe's terrified.
Yeah.
Bye, Mark Norman.
Bye. Nice to meet you there. What does BL stand for? Bomb lots?
All right, she's
doing the classic DX chop.
DX
Which I have not seen that in ages.
I haven't seen labia move like that since the 80s.
That wasn't labia. She's saving some bacon for later.
I was hanging at Cat's Deli. All right. Well, that was a real trip.
Yeah. That was great, BL.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, great job.
You covered that Nixon dying thing like a champ.
I just got a thing from Flipper, who was my producer in Florida.
Yes.
And he said to me, your memory is fine. I don't remember one of these bits. This is from him. He doesn't remember how we would...
Norman's time, Benny!
But why would I send someone out to get jerked off on in a fucking... What was it?
In a Kmart.
In a Kmart. And then have her dig a hole and have the city go mad.
And actually, that's how the stadium got built, because of you. So...
They went after me.
You know what? Forget it. It didn't happen then. It didn't happen.
Honey, if you're going to give us the finger, have the entire finger. Don't put up that half.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah.
That's a new chapter in the BL catalog.
All right.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. What happened there? Table saw?
It got chopped off in a wreck. It's Mark Norman's time, Mark Norman.
That's why you can't fuck around with Joe Walsh.
What happened? Gator bite when you went swimming down there in Florida?
Is that from building the Buck Stadium?
All right, I am going to. I'm going to believe Flip, because why wouldn't he remember?
Yeah.
I think we should call her Flipper with the hand.
Oh Jesus! Well, this got ugly quick.
Oh boy!
You know,
don't say it.
Yeah.
Woo. Oh.
Well,
is Mark okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
Do I know how to clear a room or what?
No.
No, are you mad at me, Mark?
No, you're doing great.
If you want me to rent with the crib that's under $3,000 a month, I'm available.
Oh, you need a place. Huh?
I need a place in New York City.
All right. Well, there's a shelter on 23rd.
They turned her down. Too scary.
You gotta have 10 fingers.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, now we're getting mean here.
Boy.
No, it's fun. I like comics who make fun of disabilities.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
All right.
Edgy.
These wheelchair people have had it too good for too long.
It's really edgy stuff.
Yeah.
Mike Norman, as always, you're hilarious, my
thanks.
friend.
You too.
And sorry about today.
That's great. I had a blast.
Chris.
Yeah.
Could you plug away for him?
Mark's performing at the Arlington Draft House in Arlington, Virginia, Friday, October 2nd. Go to arlingtondrafthouse.com for tickets. And he's also performing at the Dead Crow Comedy Room in Wilmington, North Carolina, October 16th and 17th. That's deadcrowcomedy.com. And the podcast, Tuesdays with Stories, is available on iTunes. And on Twitter, it's @MarkNorm.
Incredibly funny man. You're going to enjoy him. And we'll see all you guys back here tomorrow in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!